Let me know when you hit it.
Posterity.
When he said the word posterity. Now we're going to be live on YouTube.
This is the very first time we're trying this, obviously.
Very first time.
guys, so
We're
good to
not
see
having
you.
technical
I miss
problems
We're so new.
at all.
Yeah.
We're so new and fresh.
Yeah,
We've never
not new.
we've never
So
done this
how's everybody
introduction
doing?
before.
Professionals.
but we didn't actually get that far. How is everybody doing? What's going on?
Doing good.
On it.
Yes, good.
Wait,
I did try something different.
Another
Let's see
2
what
weeks.
happens
Oh
if we
man,
do
is
this.
it time to drink? Because we're just starting the game, right?
yeah,
Because so we're not
Yeah.
totally not drinking.
Yeah, totally.
no, totally not drinking.
I will say that
fix
I'm
it?
really happy to see some familiar names in chat from the
Yeah,
last time
we
we
do.
played
Yeah.
Vampire.
Mhm,
So that's
mhm.
really cool. Yeah.
Maybe that
That
will
is
do
neat.
it. So you know that whole trick that I did to like actually be looking at you guys?
Yes.
That's what was making it lag. So that's
Oh.
fun. So here's what we're gonna do.
Don't
Nice.
look at us.
Nice.
I'm gonna look at you. This isn't how we're gonna roll.
Stop
I'm gonna
looking at
grab
me!
this. I'm gonna
Oh,
drag this
yes.
all the way over here on stream, so you can see the
My
rest of
eyes
this
are
room.
down here.
I will watch your eyes.
We're doing this together.
Mine too!
Doing this together.
I will definitely want your eyes.
Yeah, that did it. That's stupid, and it did it. But okay. Hi, I'm Raetog, and this is my game. This is totally the first time we tried this, right? Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yep.
Missed you guys.
Yeah, that's a lot
missed
better.
you guys.
I haven't
Yeah, I
seen
did.
any of you
I
in
did.
forever.
Some of my favorite people that I've played TTRPGs with has been you guys, for sure.
Ooh, that's high praise.
And yes, maybe
That's
I
not
haven't
praise.
had a lot of like
He's
TTRPG
literally-
playing in the past, I don't know,
It's just
4
enough.
He's
years.
just saying that because we're here right now.
He is right now.
Well, you know that is the final boss.
I
so-
can't confirm or deny any such allegations, and I feel like it's rude that you imply any such deprecations on my character, sir.
I have to get into my character, and she's very
That's
rude.
fair.
So it's okay. I'm
That's
really
fair.
just acting now.
She's very rude.
That's
I don't know. I think she's really sweet.
Yeah, she likes you. That's the difference.
it's a
Yeah.
The difference.
considerable
She
difference.
likes you, and the rest of us are just
Can I
tools.
do this? I can do this now.
Let the
Yeah.
record show, for those of you who do not remember how this game ended, I don't like any of these people.
So
But we like you.
that is
No.
true.
No,
So
you
since-
don't.
No,
So-
we don't.
No, you don't.
Since
Shut
we're
up.
getting into this right now,
Shut up, let me lie to him.
since we're getting
Mercy
in this
likes
right now, Mr. Kisogo, our returning champion
Yes, sir.
from Vampire, can you tell us a
Quick
little
as
bit
KO
about
by
yourself? Uh-huh. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself? Who you're playing, briefly,
Sure.
and how you been, buddy? I don't want to do this in every episode.
Oh,
this
I've been
time,
good.
but We're doing it for this one.
No, but this is the reunion. This is the reunion moment, right?
You damn right.
So I've been good. For those of you guys who do not know me, my name is Kisogo. I'm a narrative and story game player. I've been a bar and restaurant professional for over 12 years. I play a character named James Kessler, who is a Malkavian. I'm playing a veteran who is suffering from PTSD, something that's very close to my heart, as a veteran that suffers from PTSD. And this game actually happens on the week that we're observing mental health awareness. So this is Mental Health Awareness Week. Tomorrow morning at 8 p.m. CST, we'll be part of a mental health awareness raid train with this group that's doing like a week-long raid train into other streamers. We'll be doing meditation exercises and talking about mental health. So if I could do a little bit of promo, please check me out.
You're in the chat
at
already.
8 p.m.
The
CST.
chat already.
So
Sorry, at what
that's
time?
what I do. This is at 8 p.m. CST. So for those of you guys on the West Coast, that is 6 o'clock in the morning. There's you guys in the Sorry, there's a cat here that's clawing the fuck out of me.
He
It's
has
real
a
exciting.
wonderful.
Okay, listen, I love you. You
Wonderful
said
cat.
twice 8 p.m. and then morning, and I just want to know.
I'm sorry,
is
8 a.m.
evening-
Sorry, 8 a.m. CST. Jesus Christ,
Okay.
I'm so used to like streaming in the evening. 8 a.m. CST. So 9 a.m. on the East Coast, 6 a.m. on the West Coast. Again, we'll be doing meditation exercises and things like that. I am a certified martial arts instructor, so I'll be working through some of those techniques as well, and we'll be talking a little bit about myself, and we'll be talking a little bit about my journey. I've been playing recently this game called Beacon Pines. For those of you guys who do not know that game, first of all, you should know that it is an indie game. It is a game that is available on Game Pass. It's also on Steam for $18. This game is basically it takes place in a small town. You play the whole game is about anthropomorphic characters. The main character you play is a deer. There's all sorts of other animals, but it has a very Stranger Things vibe. So there's in this small sleepy town, there's something strange afoot in this town. So very strong Stranger Things. It is a choose your own adventure narrative game. So you discovered word charms in the game, and you can take those word charms and substitute it in the story to change the outcome of certain branches of that story. It's really, really cool. I initially intended it as a one stream game, but it's been so exciting and so provocative that I'm on my second stream of the game, and it's been amazing. So I would definitely recommend checking it out if you like games.
I was gonna say, for a vampire stream, that seems like kind of right up these people's alley.
Yeah,
that's the same kind of thing. So, oh yeah, you did miss the part. Who you playing tonight?
So I mentioned before, I'm playing James Kessler. Again, a character that's very close to my heart, something I talked to Raetog about very in depth, because I wanted to make sure that I was. A lot of people who play Malkavian generally play characters that are surface crazy. I don't want to do that. I want to really hone in on the fact that Malkavian characters are all afflicted by strong mental illness. And again, as a veteran myself, I was in the army for 8 years. As a veteran myself who suffers from PTSD, I'm playing a character who is also a veteran suffering from PTSD, and I want to make sure that it's depicted very realistically in the ways that this also reflects my journey, my struggle with my own mental health. Actually, Tog and I have a very strong kill switch. If at any point he feels like this is something that I'm getting too deep into that I can't separate anymore because disassociation is really real, he has full authority to stop me from playing. I will dip out, we will make a new character, and I will play somebody else.
We have not gotten to that point, but to be clear for our audience, I do know Vampire's a game that deals with a lot of heavy issues. It deals with literally the nature of life and death. It deals with the nature of corruption. It deals with very strong things. It's a very R-rated game, which kind of goes with my my theme. But at the same time, beforehand, we have all gone over everybody's lines, everybody's fails. We know what is okay to go into. We know what is not okay to go into, and we know where the good stopping point is. And we're going to keep it that way.
Yep.
So it's good, and I'm actually...
That way we...
I was going to say
that way we can respect you guys as the audience too, so that you're not getting something that's really strongly triggering. And that's... If I ever get to that point, then I'm not going to be able to know that. Yeah.
Yep. But yeah. And because of that, I'm actually very glad that the plot is opening the way it is tonight. So that's a little small tease. But good to know that you're doing okay, buddy. I missed you, and I'm glad that you're back.
I love the way you talk. I like your pretty words, Magic Man.
Well, that seems like a good transition point. Hey, Mizui.
Hi.
How you been? What's going on?
Oh, it's been real crazy on my end of the world, but it's an adventure every day, and I'm getting through it. So, it's progress.
Where can the internet find you, and who are you playing?
Yeah. I'm here on Twitch sometimes. I was a little bit more regular on Twitch until recently, but I'm in Discord all the time. If you know me, if you are part of my community, if you want to be, you can find me at twitch.tv/Mrs. Mizui. And you can jump into Discord from there, and that's really how you can get a hold of me right now. But I am a chaos human. I'm hanging kind of with me. Thanks. And I do some witchy shit, I do some art shit, and I play games, but I don't even have a brand of games anymore. Like I just like do stuff on the internet and people hang out with me for some reason. I don't get it. But that said, I'm playing
It's your
Mercedes
personality.
Grace.
It's the hair.
It's the vast tracks of personality.
Vast.
Huge tracks of personality, some might say.
Huge tracts of land.
I'm playing Mercedes Grace. She goes by Mercy, and she's a darling vampire who was very recently a human built of sunshine and happiness. And she's been hit with this change of heart, as it were, change of life state. And when she became undead, she was hit with this anger that kind of was boiling under her surface anyway. You know, because everybody who just wants a peaceful life in the sunlight probably has something else going on. And that's really coming to the front as she battles with her inner monster now. And so she's a little angry, and she's trying really hard to make sure that all anybody sees is the anger, and they're not seeing how scared she is.
That's fair, and it wasn't inflicted on you by literally anyone important. Nobody important at all. See that look that I got? That's what you're looking for if you're a storyteller. That means you're doing your job right.
I mean, I'm good at my job.
So let's get rid of him, because we don't need that. We don't need that.
In this room right now.
We're trying
I
to
don't
get
even
rid of him.
here. We're disparaging somebody that's not even here anymore.
I'll bet
trying
you
to-
money he'll
Good.
find out about it soon. Continuing on down the line, so my good buddy Matt,
Hey.
who has driven so long, how are you doing, and how excited are you to be playing this bitch again?
Overjoyed, darling. Couldn't fucking wait to get back into it and take over what's mine. So,
That's
Take over
You
what's
know.
mine. Oh my god.
no, I am Matt. I am playing the lovely Magdalena Masters of a certain clan. I just don't want to. I don't want to talk
Yep.
about it too much.
You got a
Oh my
fucking
god, you have
tattoo.
a tattoo
You
of
got a
the
tattoo.
I just wanna, you know.
Oh my god,
Do it
how did I
again,
not
flex.
know this?
Flex, do it again. Let's see it again. We need it.
How did I
See it.
not know that you
Just let me-
had
just
this
let me-
as a...
stretch
I'm
it.
looking at your
Oh my
eyes.
I bet you are.
That's talking about the gun show.
My eyes are up here. The lovely Ventru Magdalena Masters, who has lofty ambitions to say the very least, and yeah, we'll see where this goes.
We will.
She's
We
a
will
scary bitch.
indeed all see where this goes, whether it is for good or ill. There may or may not be plans. There's totally
Definitely
plans.
not born of the deep dark recesses of my own mind, spilling out onto
Or
literal
frustrations.
pages and pages and pages of story. So,
Of course not.
Yep.
This is obviously fantasy.
Yep.
of course, I would,
Absolutely.
yes, I
Obviously.
would never kill
Obviously.
anyone.
Right, yeah. or
Twice.
even-
That would be silly.
That'd be weird.
I mean,
I don't like
was there for all the
explosions.
humanity checks. I know.
I don't admit to anything live on camera.
Exactly.
Speaking of being live on camera, thanks for that. What's up, Seamus? How you been? What's going on and who you playing?
It's been going good. I can't wait for another 2 weeks. That'll be fun. Fucking fantastic. But I am playing Roland, a personality.
Personality is a good word for that.
A personality of a Toreador.
How's that going for you?
Better than some
Making all sorts of friends.
yeah, better in some areas, worse
So
in
many
others.
friends.
Yeah.
He is. He's making good friends, except one. He's really trying, but it's not going real well.
I don't know how, if there is a winning situation from that.
There is. I just don't want to go down that road.
Guys, if we learned anything from anime, friendship always wins.
That's
Okay.
true.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
true.
so are you
No,
gonna die
always.
today?
I,
Or
I thought Truck Coon always wins.
Ah,
Truck-kun. Truck-kun.
yep.
I
Yeah,
learned something from anime,
I've
let me tell you.
lived this long that now vampire players are weeaboos. This is the future, the dark future that I asked for. I have 2, and I'm not going to stop.
The
I
other
watch
game,
anime.
by the way, is the one with the tentacles. If you're tuning in for
Yeah.
tentacles, they have
The
yet
other
to
one.
appear.
Yeah,
the
that's
other
that's the other game.
Wow, you guys set me
Wrong
up for
night.
this because
Well,
speaking of
yeah.
the creator of Random Tentacles, hey, lovely wife.
Hold on a second. What's
Your
okay,
warlock.
real quick? What
Your-
kind of
your
You need to
warlock.
work on your
Don't explain.
transitions a little bit.
That is
Yeah.
not a good segue.
It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine.
First of all,
No,
you have to
It's
understand, as an
It's
Asian
not.
person, I am very, very nervous around tentacles. Okay? And it makes me upset that you even bring this up and that you didn't respect my space.
My lovely wife that plays a warlock of the old ones in my other game.
which is
sorry.
where the tentacles come from.
Sorry,
Yep.
Kiso, hold on here.
Seriously, why would you do that?
It's censored. You're safe.
It's fine. It's fine.
Okay.
Everything's fine.
It's behind.
So, Tia, how you doing? How are you enjoying being back with these psychos? And who are you playing tonight?
I'm playing 6, the Kakata Ghoul. Although, with the shit that's going on around town, we're gonna see how long that lasts.
It's fun.
As for dealing with these lovely bunch of
You
assholes.
can say it, assholes.
Yeah, I'm aware, dear.
You can say assholes.
It's a circus. That's all I'll say. I've joined the circus.
Oh, not wrong. Not wrong.
So Maggie's the ringmaster.
Just
Deep
half the
in.
time, I just envision
Dance,
six in the
monkeys,
corner.
dance!
Oh my god.
It's been too long.
It has been too long. This is our bizarre grand reuniting. But I think we're sufficiently far into this that we should probably get close to getting started because we're a bunch of goofy assholes, but we have some shit that's...
timeline to keep.
There's not a timeline to keep. We got some shit going on. The timeline can take as long as it wants. We're gonna go past October. That's not a question.
One of us needs to get sleep at some point.
It's not me. It's the one that drove to Chicago.
Our ringleader.
I mean, I do have to do it again all tomorrow at 3 a.m., but that's beside the point.
Oh, good. So you can just go directly from here to driving.
I could, and I'll just, I'm sure my work will be fine with it.
Just pop in some Rockstar.
That'll be fine.
I just gotta find me the
Organic,
right
so it's healthy.
sort of,
Organic is just French for more expensive.
Not wrong. So,
That's fair.
as we're gonna finally get back into Chicago by night, I have some shit to read and all that, but since last time, if you poked at my YouTube page, you've seen this already, but we got an open now. We're gonna do it. So I'm gonna mute myself and these wonderful chuckleheads, and we're gonna be right back.
Okay, everybody cast at him in 3, 2, 1.
Everywhere you look.
We're not
everywhere
doing Full
you
House,
No.
okay? We're live again, and we're not
Oh,
doing
Full
Full
House?
House.
Yeah, we
No.
do Full House.
Okay, guys,
It's not happening.
Let's
tell
go.
us in chat. Tell us in chat. Do you want to see a Full House / Friends style intro for the vampire game?
That'll really.
This
set
is
the
One
what-
for yes,
this
two
is-
for
Hey,
yes.
I
yes.
just
So
hold
good.
on a minute. Now, I would like to propose. I mean,
I'm taken. I'm sorry.
I have a bar. We could just do a Cheers intro.
Ooh, I'd be fine with Cheers.
Everybody knows your name.
Oh,
Dun-
dear.
And they're always glad you came.
I want to cry. This is what happens when I do work, guys.
Yeah,
This is what
fuck your work.
happens.
We're gonna make fun of it and make something else.
So, if that's the case, then that means it's my time to torment you. Because we're going to get into this now.
Oh, I don't like that.
See? It took that. It took that.
Yeah, we do need to start remembering the meaner we are to him, the worse
The
he makes
worse
it.
it's gonna
It can
be.
get bad. It could get bad.
All we need is one werewolf, and we're pretty much all dead. I'm just gonna point that out.
I mean,
Maggie might make it.
maybe two because of Maggie. We'll
Because
see
of
what
Maggie, yeah.
happens.
I'm contractually obligated to keep at least one of you alive. So
It's not wrong.
I'm not telling you which one.
Which one? Which one?
I can't say. It's
Probably
it's,
six.
it's part of
honestly.
the contract.
a very important secret that I
It's
can't
part of the
say.
contract.
It's definitely 6.
It's probably not
Yeah.
Roland or James, so.
Probably six.
You're right. It was 6. You guessed. You guessed.
We're
it right.
such assets to the team.
Right?
Yeah,
I
you're definitely
I,
asses for the team. Yeah.
I have definite.
We're
with
asses.
6's
Yeah.
hire,
Yeah, you're right.
or 6's employer. So you're all
Good
fucked.
call,
Sorry.
Scarlett. Good call.
So, what was it? Well, last we left off in season 2, things happened. So I do have, I got away in the previous game from reading intros, but it feels like an appropriate time for this one. We've had some time off. So, since last we left off, it feels like Chicago's roof is about to blow off. About 3 weeks of time have passed since we last joined our kindred in the Windy City. While our coterie hasn't seen a lot of violent action in that time, the air is very thick with tension. Horatio Ballard's gamble to make a business deal with Pentex, arch nemesis of the werewolves that haunt the outskirts of the city, has brought this city to the brink of open conflict. When last we left our vampires, the coterie had defeated a lone werewolf and escaped with their unlives, but there was little question that the round went to the Lupines. The power plant was destroyed, Horatio Ballard was arrested and pulled behind the curtain of Camarilla justice and not heard from again so far. Magdalena and her coterie have been awarded with a measure of status for their efforts, as well as a few of their allies. However, since last we left, time has not stood still. The feeling in the air holds the same kind of tension that the Cold War did. The sense that both sides are pulling together their resources for a battle ahead. There have been word of skirmishes. Each week, word that some younger vampires have been destroyed, or that a werewolf had been brought down filters through the grapevine. On top of all of this, the other problems the vampires have had have not just simply gone away. The hunters, present in Chicago since Maggie has first taken up residence in the city, have been quiet, which is likely more concerning than if they were open and loud. On top of this, there are still whispers that the Sabbat have returned to Chicago. Like an infection, with memories of inhuman monsters fresh in the minds of a few of you. Tonight, we rejoin our vampires. The air is still and cold. The night is December 30th, the evening just before that of New Year's Eve. And it is this evening that James Kessler, having held the line against the Lupines and fallen in battle, awakes from his torpor. So, tonight, we go back into the city of Chicago. Specifically, to a rather familiar club setting. Still booming. The efforts of a few of you have made the business venture that is Club Nova a little better, a little more successful, a little more marketing, a little more experimental music, a little more effort on the parts of a few other people. So, whilst James is slumbering downstairs, there we go, in the very,
Sorry,
very
my
secure
stuff's
areas.
fucking up.
It's all good. You're fine. While James is still slumbering down there in the very, very secure lower chambers, what are our vampires doing?
Is So I have a question for the DM, even though we've just started. We've talked recently about a large event, a themed event, if you will. Is that perhaps playing into the upcoming holidays?
I mean, one might just be open with it. If you intend it to be, it could.
Awesome. Mercy's very busy. Mercy has big plans for the club. She has been setting up, working with Adrian Tars and his ilk as she brings together the two clubs for different events, but also hopefully brings together a business relationship and perhaps a less obvious alliance of greater strength, given that they are working together more closely now than they have before for Maggie and the club. She's planned a large event, and I imagine that at this point in time, she is mingling with guests and just kind of casually bringing up the upcoming festivities.
In such case, that means we're upstairs here. What would she be going over with said guests? What kind of... You're selling them on this, of course. You're doing the marketing thing.
Of course.
You have one such guest in front of you. Like, nice couple, looking about medium high on the economic scale, enjoys a nice jazz club that you've engaged with. Like, oh, what are you planning?
Of course. Well, we're actually having a Heaven and Hell themed event coming up. It's a little play on words, a masquerade kind of event. It'll be very much a dress for the occasion kind of party, but we want everybody to come and enjoy themselves. Come as you are, if you will. We're actually reaching out to a nearby club that hosts many kind of similar events. We have some of their performers coming. There'll be acrobats in the sky. There will be entertainers on the floor mingling with guests. We'll have specialty drinks such as the Pale Fairy, one of our newest cocktails that our team has come up with for our evening. In a nod to our very, very fair owner of the club, Miss Magdalena Masters. Our event, of course, is going to be very large. It will be showcasing the talents of the other clubs, as well as, giving the very high class touch that Nova brings to the scene.
They seem to be flattered and give pretty much the answer that you've gotten all evening when trying to sell this. Like, oh, usually I wouldn't go out this many times in a row, but this sounds like something I'm not going to be able to miss. Is Maggie overwatching this whole thing?
They are kindred, I'm assuming.
These? Nah, these are straight mortals.
Okay.
These are nobodies. Simple people that are looking for a decent time to have.
Maggie will quietly approach behind Mercy and slowly put a hand on her shoulder. Dear, these people are far too poor to attend that event, I believe. I'm sorry, but we just simply don't have the room for you.
There's a whole like, well, fine. We'll take our business elsewhere and come, honey, and just like they leave.
Perfect.
Maggie!
Come, Muffy.
Maggie!
It's very stuck.
Yeah.
Take our business elsewhere.
Yes, dear. Am I
What?
to assume that you're just going to invite any low-crust rabble to my club? For perhaps one of the most momentous, if not the most momentous night in its entire inception. Those were posers, dear. New money. Ugh. They made their money through something called an Amazon. I don't know what they're doing down there, deforesting, something else. I don't know. But it frustrates me to no end that all of these people coming in, assuming that they have the chops to stand toe to toe with the greats, the masters of the
Oh
world.
my god.
These fuckers.
Maggie.
Sorry, dear. I'm in a bit of a mood this evening. I didn't sleep well
No.
yesterday.
What? Sorry, I was shocked. That was
Do you-
me being shocked.
I wouldn't call it sleep. Maggie, there's a lot to be said for spreading the word of such an event to all sorts of people. At the door, of course, we will have our usual team enforcing who does and does not enter. But having a line at the door around the block, or even just to say that people come and stand and wait in hopes of being here, would greatly increase the influence of such an event. Additionally, those people, while they may not have been the highest echelon of people here in Chicago, certainly have friends and social groups that they could have told about this event and perhaps brought people who also look down upon them to our event.
Hmm.
Also, honey, their money is money.
Oh, but I don't need money. That's not what I'm after. I haven't needed money for some time now.
Yes,
More,
it's not about you needing money.
more so, dear. I really just wanted to come over here and see what you would do when presented with such an event.
Most ridiculous person ever.
Bit of a
Literally the
test,
most ridiculous.
really, but I've given you so much leeway over these past few weeks, and you've done such a wonderful job. I wanted to really see if it was well placed, and my dear, I must say you have very much impressed me, as you always do, and I shan't do it anymore, I promise.
And here I was worried I'd step on your toes.
Well, no, my toes are too strong for you to step on. Anyway, the point is, I
Rude.
I
Just
really,
sounds like
Rude.
I find myself contemplating the events of these nights, and well, you've alleviated so much of me thinking about Nova that it's fun to pop in and I don't know, create a little bit of chaos every now and then. Consequently,
insult-
I believe the husband was a trained violinist, and I could go for a drink. So maybe they don't need to tell anybody.
Well, Maggie, if you were looking for something more interesting, I believe that there are a couple of bands auditioning for rights to play in our event still. I figured letting them come to the very last moment would give you plenty of options.
I like options.
But by all means, chase down the people you insulted and
Oh,
make
I
them
don't
regret existence.
I don't chase. Though maybe I will have them killed. I don't
It would
know.
be fun.
Would it be worth it? I don't know that it would be
Occasionally
worth it.
chasing after somebody, just for the sake of having them beg for mercy later.
Beg for mercy.
Oh, oh.
I I also wanted to ask about your extracurriculars. Have you made any progress?
I have in fact scaled up the jewelry making
Yes. How
and
is
the
your business?
yes, it's doing quite well.
Wonderful.
Um, I have upgraded the metal contents of my pieces. I've designed a few more and discovered along the way that Will was very capable of bringing in somebody who could handle the hand packing that we needed.
That's wonderfully excellent, dear. Will is a good man, and that's why I brought him closer into the team. Um, I might be a bit presumptuous as I know the event is sooner rather than later, but with current things the way that they're going, I was hoping that we might be able to provide some party favors for our guests that night. Some of the more uh, kindred guests, you might say. So that everyone might have a similar level of protection. I will cover your costs as always, dear, but I think that it would be a good sign of goodwill.
Of course, it has occurred to me that we should have a VIP lounge, if you will. And I
Of
believe I
course.
have enough at hand. How many favors were you planning? Do you have any
You're in charge
ideas?
of the guest list, dear. How many favors are we needing?
I could maybe make that work, Maggie. Um, I suppose I could hire somebody to help me get
Hmm.
some extra work done while I take care of the things. It's just jewelry making.
That's
Or were
true.
you meaning perhaps on the opposite end of protections?
Um, no. I think we understand each other from the the first part of the conversation, and whatever that you deem necessary and appropriate, I will trust your judgment,
Wonderful.
as I have come to.
I think I have plenty enough for our kindred guests, but I will make sure that should they bring companions of any ilk, that there is more than enough.
Well, and if enough people show up, you know who the important ones are. The people that support us, me, and those that we associate with can be priority guests.
Of course. Well, we certainly have enough for that.
Wonderful. Now, have you seen Will? I do have a bit of business to discuss with him.
So,
Not recently.
amusingly, when you guys look around the room, just mentioning, I don't know, no roles needed. You see, Will is apparently doing his job, ushering
What?
what
Sorry.
seemed
God
to
forbid.
be what seemed to be a VIP towards. Oh my gosh, cat. Void baby. Ushering a VIP towards, of all people, Roland. So Roland, being present, has Will, chief of security, And am I correct in Maggie would have let everybody know Will's new status? Everybody
Yes,
here?
but
Okay.
on the off chance that it didn't, Will is now a full blown ghoul,
Yep.
a la Six. Probably not as cool as Six. Six is pretty cool,
Yep.
but he is my personal manservant.
So, Will, walking over towards Roland, who you got a nice spot in the corner. You knew that some form of meeting was going to happen tonight. And the person he is walking over with is, somebody you intended on having a meeting with. The sheriff of Chicago.
I'm sorry.
Oh, this motherfucker. Sorry. As a case, chat, we don't like him. You have to be on our side for this. He's an asshole.
Who? Wait, who? Me or him?
Yes.
Me or the sheriff?
Yeah.
The answer is yes.
Shut
The
up.
sheriff is an asshole. You are also an asshole. But more so the sheriff.
Well, then I'm on the sheriff's side then. Fine.
Talking
fuck
about Damien?
Damien is, for those who haven't seen the previous seasons, Damien, Sheriff of Chicago, is a little different than most sheriffs you would see in Camarilla cities. You would be used to bruisers, the executioner sorts of things that a hideout puppy, a prince would keep around just to take care of business. Damien is or at least was embraced as a younger black man, Bruja, and also the lead singer of an experimental jazz band. He's very different. He's Bruja leaning Toreador, which would be why he walks over and stands next to Roland.
Roland will stand and greet him and offer him a seat. Damien, it was nice to see you. Please sit down.
Got to make it fast, so I'll stand, but not out of disrespect. Just
Fair.
putting that out there.
Fair.
You have been providing a lot of good stuff lately.
Well, I'm of course looking to help. I know that this is a trying time for everybody, so the more information we have, the better equipped we are to deal with it.
Mm-hmm. So I have two things that I want to talk about. The first isn't that, because the first is the fun one.
Oh,
You got to come over and jam with us more.
anytime.
Because that was silly. Like, I mean, I know that we have like a vibe going on. I didn't expect electronics to add much. And I'll be the first to admit, that was a sound I did not dislike. It was subtle enough. Wasn't bad.
I get where you go. No, I get where you're going. But I can, like I said, that's just one part of what I do. I play drums, I play guitar, so we can just experiment and see where it all takes us. I haven't played jazz in a while, so it's nice to get my feet back in it.
Oh. We don't get many like you, and it's just wonderful to see it around. I will throw.
This is a Sorry.
This is a Bruja. This is a Bruja. The stereotypes are all out the window. Anything can be anything, and it's a very interesting and mixed city at this point. Actually, back when James was embraced, and when I fucking started playing this game, clans were very stereotyped. Clans were very like, you were this, you were that, you were this. In the following years, whether or not the older kindred, not necessarily in blood power, but the older kindred have kept up with it, it's started to blend. It started to mix. The lines aren't quite where they once were, and it's a very interesting soup that Chicago is. Damien continues. So, you want to roll with Baby Course again? Give me like a night notice tops. We'll figure out how to fit you in.
Yeah, no problem. Anytime, man.
So
If I'm not busy, doing, the other things I do.
yeah, yeah. On that, so security systems into this, I can see which way the wind is blowing, and this is going to be a bad thing. I want you to know two things. One, I am on board with this. I think that we're going to need this, and I think that this is going to be really important to us. The second thing I want you to know is I am keeping this real hard on the DL. Because this kind of technological monitoring is already way outside cam rules. And I know the prince wouldn't jive with this. I know he wouldn't.
Agreed.
And he looks around. So I'm not going to tell him. Security is important, though. I will know about this. You will know about this. And honestly, I'm probably going to get Wanika in on this because he's my second these days. Alexa still hasn't come out of torpor from the last night. At the power plant.
I'm always willing to step in and help as much as I can. I'm not much of a fighter in that kind of way, but I am. I like to think of myself as a man who knows things.
Prep work is half the game, buddy. So, let's just say it's a raid. Hello, raid.
Wait, we have a raid?
We have
A raid? A
We have
goblin
a
raid?
Hello?
A goblin raid. Hi. We in the middle of a very interesting meeting with one of our players in the Sheriff of Chicago. But hi, I'm Raetog. We're playing Chicago by night. Here's all the people are playing. And yeah, we're just gonna keep on going. But thank you for raiding.
Yep.
Very much appreciate it. So Sheriff Damien continues. About 3 people gonna be in on this. And anyone that you think that you would trust with this. Let me know who knows. But
Maggie.
other than that, I'm cool with that. That's all right.
Does Maggie tell Mercy?
No.
This is brand new.
Which is why I wanted to come to you about it. Because this is something that could give us an edge. Because this is not the norm.
Something tells me that there's going to be a new norm not too long from now. Whew. Yeah, there's no other way to put it.
Indeed.
We have a lot going on.
Yeah, I know. I was in on most of the beginnings of that, but it's the war or the escalation of itself, but it's just I saw where the wind was blowing and this needed to happen, and I figure run it by you and get you in on it.
That's wise. So, I have rounds to do. There's reports of, as you would expect, shit going on. So, I gotta scoot.
Always is. No problem.
Give my best to the Lady of Elysium. I appreciate your
Before
work,
he
bud.
turns around, I would like to be over there.
So here's how this goes. He literally goes, "I appreciate you, buddy," and like slaps
Roland
Roland on the
doesn't-
should and then
Roland doesn't
turns,
say anything.
and then there's Maggie.
Roland
Oh.
doesn't say anything.
Regards. He turns and goes, he like starts and like, regards to the Lady of Elysium.
Of course, dear. You're always welcome here. Lovely to see you, and I'm so glad that you're feeling better. I couldn't overhear anything that was being discussed, but Roland has assured me that things are in motion, and I trust him, and I would very much vouch for him should it be needed.
That's noted. if you vouch for him, it won't have to be to me, because as far as I'm concerned, his results are enough.
His music's good, so I like him.
Understand. I just don't
That's the
want you
subtext.
to... How do I put this delicately? I wouldn't want you to get caught in the middle. Feel free to throw my name around if you need to. I take responsibility for those in my coterie as I do my own childer. Therefore, if repercussions fall, please have the prince take it up with me.
There's a knowing smile. You get the sense that this is a kindred who has never, ever, ever liked politics, but understands the necessity of them. And he just nods, goes, yeah, I'll do that. Round about this time, I would say this would probably be the moment where, since it's fairly early in the evening, about now would be when Six would arrive in the building. From the jaunt that she was off on earlier. And this is the scene that you walk in on. Mercy is going around and schmoozing with the rich folk, and you see Maggie, Roland, and Sheriff Damien talking with it looking like it's about to be over. And the sheriff shakes Maggie's hand. It's not like he noticeably doesn't do it in he's shaking a lady's hand gently. It's like a full shake.
We have a rapport. We know.
You've been through the shit together, and it is you guys are in a corner. It's a little bit out of sight, but it is it's a warrior's handshake. And he just gives you a nod and then walks out towards the door.
Always a pleasure, dear. Have a wonderful night.
He nods and honestly walks right past Six as if he did not recognize her at all. Still flying under the radar from the bigwigs.
Yeah.
Just the way you like it.
I mean, if it keeps me alive a little longer, then yeah.
Let's be honest. If you're not a vampire in vampire society, you're gonna die soon. Unless you find a way to not be in
That is
anybody's
the
way.
risk I'm willing to take right now.
Like I said, contractually obligated to keep her alive. Sorry. Just throwing it out there.
We all knew we were talking.
So, storyteller, is this my little trip back to Nova? Is this after my conversation with?
Yep.
Okay.
Pretty much right after that. You got leave to go back to your coterie.
Okay, so who is not looking particularly busy right now out of my coterie?
Well,
Mercy's schmoozing.
Mercy's,
but not
they're not, none of them are particularly busy, as the two who were having an important conversation have just finished it. And Mercy is schmoozing. It's a fun word, schmooze.
Isn't it a good word?
I guess I will talk to the lady of the house.
So popular tonight.
You thrive in this atmosphere. How are things going?
Well, dear, it's a lovely evening. Things are as things have been. Nothing incredibly urgent or pressing. With the event coming up, I believe Mercy has had her hands full, and Roland has been working on some things. I've been attending to some personal matters.
Is the club super busy right now?
As far as
storyteller?
if you had to put busy on a scale from 1 to 10, you guys are looking at somewhere between a 5 and a 6. It's not New Year's Eve yet, but you get the sense that the excitement is for getting out and doing things is building. There is a lot of disdainful younger money around.
Some
The
right in front. Some right in front of Maggie.
some of them. So you have a lot of those.
I don't mind. I like you.
Like the people that Maggie would like instantly like the hairs will stick up on her like a cat. Like the guys who will show up like dressed like they're going to like an E3 convention with like a t-shirt and a suit jacket and like chucks. Those are in your club.
The face.
But they
So
can
I'm
afford to
bad
get
at
in.
my job, is what you're saying.
It's a whole thing.
I'm sorry I've let you down, Maggie.
But to answer your question,
It's fine.
6.
This is fine.
It's medium busy.
Okay.
It's not a slow night.
When is this event supposed to happen? Talking to Maggie.
Mercy is maintaining the details, but I imagine soon she may capitalize on the holiday.
Yeah, I'm booked. So.
Is she in charge of security?
She is in charge of security to the extent of she's working with Will and the new security team that Will personally selected. I believe you had a bit of input on that as well.
I would like to add a bit of input on that. How many special guests do you plan on inviting to this thing?
You know, it might be easier to invite Mercy over. Mercy, dear!
You
Okay.
you disengage from another. It's another suit jacket. It's
Yeah, there's a moment, there's a small pause of like, oh god, she's just summoned me from across the room. And
The voice carries, by the way.
I could make it carry a little more, but I won't.
and
So
she
the
looks
person, the mortal that you're talking to, like gives one of these, like looks over your shoulder to see who is calling, and going, "Oh, that's okay. We'll be right here."
yeah, and Mercy exits with grace. She says, and we would of course love to see you. I didn't even.
We see what you did there.
There's no advantage to giving this. There's
You
there's
have
no-
used your
I mean-
name twice.
Twice.
You've used both of them. It's good. You did good.
It's good.
Yeah, on
You get an
purpose.
Magdalena will give you an inspiration. Good job.
Yay!
Wrong game. Wrong game. Continue anyways.
Can I add a D10 to my roll?
No.
Yes. Yes, you can.
No.
Yeah, totally. Yes,
Maybe I
and
can work
you know, just and we really would look forward to seeing you. But I'll be right back, and then she'll go over to Maggie. Not quite like a well-trained puppy, but not
This
far
close.
off either. Yeah,
I-
only a little bit like more like no, I'm my own person, kind of.
Of course, yeah.
More like a cat. You know when you
I
call a cat.
respect you. I respect you very much. Mercy, dear. Sorry to pull you away from one of them. Our lovely friend here had some questions about the evening and proposed, I believe, security issue.
Oh.
A concern, really. How many special guests do you plan on inviting to this thing?
Well, it's Mr. Tars and his associates. We've invited Annabelle and anybody she desires to bring with her, as well as a few other, no less than I'd say 10 or 15.
Okay.
Maggie had me extend an invitation. Did you say you expected them to come, or was this a polite offer, as it were?
A polite offer to the entirety of the court, though I expect perhaps Annabelle will come. I don't know of the rest of them. Can't honestly say that I
Roll
care.
his face drops.
Oh dear, I know your relationship isn't wonderful, but
No, I've been trying to get better, but I just keep putting my foot in my mouth about it.
well, stop doing that.
I'm
It's that
trying.
easy.
It's I don't know all the politics of everybody, so it's when you compliment somebody and
Well,
it insults somebody else, it's not
I
the
may
greatest of things.
provide you with a bit of unsolicited advice, which, well, let's be frank, I'm going to do it either way.
I figured.
I would treat the relationship that you have with Annabelle a bit like, you know, when a large predator has its prey and it plays with it for a little bit until it's less amusing, and then it finishes it off.
Mm,
You're the mouse in that scenario. Don't become less amusing to her, and
I'm
if
trying
you
not to
can
be any prey.
get out of her sight, it's probably for the best.
I was trying to actually not be prey. That was the whole point of me trying to actually better my relationship with her, but
Cute.
I'm not doing great on that end. Let's be fair.
I know some of the designers she likes, and you have a bit of
Speaking of
money.
who we're talking about, we're talking about
Let
that
you,
one, ladies and gentlemen.
I could perhaps assist you with some gift ideas to get you back in her good graces.
Well, that would be wonderful. I would appreciate that.
We'll talk.
Hmm.
Uh,
Sorry,
there
Mercy.
is the small matter of Miss Wainwright, um, and her associates. I have invited them. I don't know if she is likely to come, although I would say that it's probably favorable. Um, I have asked that she not bring Reese with her.
Understandable. Now, to be fair,
I'm not very interested in fair in this scenario.
no, no, not with regards to Reese. Fuck him. To be fair, Miss Wainwright, um, if I had to classify her as opposed to some of the other guests that we've mentioned, I would put her higher up on the priority. Her and her people will be needed for the nights to come, and that would be a very wonderful ally to have.
Um, Between Miss Wainwright and Mr. Tars, I have been working to solidify those relationships as best I can. There was one more. His name slips my mind. I believe you called him
Flyboy?
Flyboy. Yes.
Yes. A young gentleman that I came across many nights ago. He's kind of a faction leader, you could say, for, I believe they're referring to them as thin bloods these days, some of the younger kindred.
I wouldn't know any of those.
Potentially, well, younger in the sense of bloodline, per se. Not so much yourself, Mercy. They may be quite older than you, though their blood is younger. It's complicated. Uh, Either way, I've maintained efforts to reach out to him. I've offered him the use of my Elysium here for him and his guests to try and bridge gaps that were widened with current administration, you could say. I feel that in these nights, especially with where we found ourselves weeks ago, more of our kind on our side is better.
I agree.
Especially if Six kind of glances around the room a bit. I'm pretty sure there's more. We have a few more uninvited guests in the city than originally believed.
More of
Having
yours?
having so many of your esteemed guests here all in one place, I'm a little concerned. We might be having a few party crashers.
Now that is rather annoying.
Tony found one romping around one of his properties and managed to take care of it.
The comforting thought of how Tony took care of it is really easing my mind right now. As a point, anyone standing near Maggie, she's slowly grabbing the back of a chair and turning it into a fine sawdust.
I recognize that behavior.
Just its behavior is a little concerning. It's, from what I understand, it looks like they might be trying to dig a few of you up.
I'm sorry.
Looking for hiding places, honey.
Interesting. So,
And they have a greater advantage than you do. At least they can move around both day and night. They have a lot more time on their hands.
Do we need some more daytime friends patrolling?
that is
I've been working on my
primarily
connections here in Chicago.
what the extra security forces that we'll hire were partially meant to do. Though, I don't know how effective they would be.
That's
They're
my
a bit of an
concern.
untested stock at this moment. So, I apologize. I may have misunderstood at first. The friend that Tony found was of the furry variety, yes? Not the inquisitory
Yeah.
type?
No.
Yes. Well. I'll speak to Will. Mercy, if you have any connections, please feel free to act on them.
I'll look into it.
On connections and security. Probably a good question for Maggie, but it might be just as a valid question for Roland or Mercy or anyone here. The room in which James is being kept. What are the conditions of said room? And what are the security measures of that?
These are fingerprint rooms, aren't they?
It's the special fingerprint rooms with coded access for guests that know the code. The doors are safe doors. They are old safe doors that have been repurposed, and they seal tight.
Are they sealed from the outside access only or inside access
Good
as well?
question.
They are only sealed from the outside access.
And furthermore, security cameras, any way to find things out about it?
Not in that area of the club.
Well, that makes the next part of this meeting very interesting.
Wakey,
I
wakey.
hate that word. In the Chinese sense? Interesting times.
So,
What is that saying? Don't look at me like that, Kasoko.
Racism.
James.
Hey, you live in interesting times, you jerk.
James.
Yo.
You know what? I'm going to change this up because this is going to need to suit this a little bit more. You, Wake. First thing I'm going to need you to do is to roll me
My camera fucked up again.
It's all good. The first roll of the thing, once your camera fixes itself. Because we got some shit going on. I need you to roll me a rouse check.
Okay. I fail.
Fantastic.
That's a good start to this game.
So good.
Oh no, it's all right.
It's fine. It's good. It's just only the first roll of the game, and it is totally
Let's
not.
have the crazy guy fail his rouse check. That's good.
So, the last thing you remember before darkness and a little bit of peace took you. You were in a fight. You were literally in a fight. You distinctly remember a werewolf. The thing that vampires are truly afraid of, and the only thing that can, like, reliably destroy the undead in droves. The giant killing machines that they are. You were fighting one directly. You saw a giant death-giving maw crunch down on your head, and you remember emptying the clip of the weapon you had into the thing before you don't remember anything else.
Yes. Before darkness.
Before darkness.
Sorry. Just trying to be a
You're excited
storyteller.
about this.
No, you're good. It was very dark, and for the first time in a long time, there was a certain kind of peace in that. A certain kind of, you did exactly what you were supposed to do. Held the line. And did everything that you could. But things started coming back to your brain. Slowly. Your body, basically an undead puppet that your soul has been piloting for however many decades since that you've been turned, slowly knitting itself back together again. You have... the fear and the terror have passed. You realize that time has passed, but you're not quite sure how much, where you are, what has happened. But you do hear in the back of your head less a voice and more of a feeling, a thing on top of what the Curse of Malkov gave you. A thing on top of what your experiences... Oop. Your camera went dead.
Oh.
A thing on top of what your experiences in real life, in actual life, gave you. Through talking to other kindred, you realize that most of them hear this thing. The beast, they call it. And less in words, more in feeling. There is two overriding emotions that fill your brain with the utmost urgency. First off is the desire to feed. So since you failed your rouse check, whatever your hunger was in the last game, your hunger score on your character sheet, you increase that by 1. What does that put you at?
Okay.
I can crack this open
Of course.
too. Look at this too. Crack open your sheet here. Your hunger was... is now up to 4 of 5.
Yep. No, it's up to 4. I just changed it.
Yeah, that is dangerously high. There's an overwhelming sense to feed. You need to feed. Your beast is ravenous for blood right now. And that's the first thing. The second thing, entwined with that is, oh God, did Mercy get out okay? Is she okay? Where is she? Is she okay? Those are the things that are planted in your brain as you wake. The rest is your will. You wake up in a safe room, starving and concerned for your coterie mate that maybe there was a life or death bonding thing happening there. Maybe other things were going on. What do you do?
Okay. All right, so I'm going to make a slight adjustment to what you said. Are you cool?
Mm-hmm.
I don't... Just to be clear, the thing that I'm concerned about is the person that looks like Mercy.
Yes,
I don't actually know that person as Mercy.
that's fair.
Okay, so I'm in torpor. I awake violently in a scream. I scramble off the surface that I'm on.
You would have been
I
on the table.
retreat into the corner.
Table.
If I could sweat, I would sweat profusely. Lynn! Where are you? I start clawing at the ground. I'm desperate, trying to figure out where to go. I don't have any sense of where I'm at, what is going on. I claw at the walls. I claw at the surface of that I was lying on, and I find the door. I fumble at the door and I tear it open.
You tried to
And when I say tear it open, I'm going to try to rip it open
physically
as
rip it
desperate
open.
as I can.
Okay,
Yeah.
so, looking at this, you have no disciplines that would aid you in this. So as far as rolls go,
Nope.
I'm going to say that is going to be probably a strength plus whatever you have in. That'll have to be athletics.
Okay.
For a door that size, I'm going to say the difficulty has to be like 5. So the result.
To be fair, I don't know that you rolled that correctly. I think you have to click athletics first. And
He
add
has
your
no
strength.
skill in it. He has
I have
no
no
skill
skill
in
in
athletics,
athletics.
at all.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
So
I'm used to my sheet. I'm sorry.
yes.
I'm just so used to being powerful.
So the result of you trying to do that is you pounding on it, clawing at it, and like smashing your hand bloody, not in a way that like does any damage to you that you have to record on your sheet, but it is definitely making a mess.
Yeah.
While this is
I'm
occurring-
desperate. Like I can't think of anything right now. I'm just like trying desperately to open the door.
So here's the next question to the other vampires. Have there been any security measures put in place if he wakes up, or have you just been like going in there and checking on him every night or so?
Do I care that much about him? I probably would have put something in there to notify me of his movements.
As a note,
Mm-hmm.
Maggie asked Mercy to cease what she was doing, but did not ask her to stop visiting. Is that correct?
Correct. I would
So
have
it would be
explained to
in-
you the dangers and the no-nos of what you were doing, but not prohibited you from entering the room unless you would have shown some reason that you would have defied me. But I don't. You don't.
So
I
then
don't
you
believe
probably-
you would have done that.
Then you probably would have put in a motion sensor, not a camera.
Correct.
Uh,
And probably something portable, like easily removed, because within these, so in the time that's passed, just so everybody's aware, because I would have made everyone aware, cameras as well as security have been added to Nova as part of a project that she did. The cameras, however, are notably outside the building, inside all of the main buildings, not in the private rooms. That is the only place where there are no security cameras. There is one in the hallway watching all of the doors to the private rooms
Mm-hmm.
and the stairs that go down. There's cameras everywhere except for in those rooms. So it would have been a motion sensor at most, because within
So-
those rooms I want people to be secure.
With as up on technology as I assume that Maggie is, a
It would have been
beeper
not
goes
me
off
doing
in your
this.
purse. Like an old beeper goes off in your purse.
What does Mercy? It's doing the thing. What does it mean?
It literally, if Mercy takes it and looks at the little ancient LCD screen
Oh, jeez.
It literally says a pre-done message that says, "James is awake."
It's just like slowly, right? So I'm just like,
does Mercy even
James.
does Mercy even know what a beeper is? How old
Yeah.
is Mercy?
Mercy's 26.
Then probably not.
Maybe it's a rudimentary electronic device. Believe me, they're not hard to figure out.
But if she's worked with Maggie this long, then she knows that
Probably
Maggie has
so.
a beeper.
Probably seen it. Yep.
That's
You know how hard
great.
it is to find batteries for these things. They're so old.
I don't even think beepers are supported.
Bitch, what is a
anymore.
battery?
So it's gone off, and it is very
I'm
clear
screaming at the door right now.
James Kessler is awake.
Entirely soundproof in there too. So
It
But
is.
as
So
it
it's-
starts to like scroll across the little beeper
okay.
screen,
Yep.
yeah,
It's okay.
it says like I see like and Mercy like just as soon as she sees James, says James is awake, and she begins to make her way there.
Fantastic. So
did she just walk away with my buzzy thing?
Yeah.
So
Honey, I can do
before
much more fun
Technology.
fuzzy things.
before this turns into too much hilarious comedy, what we're gonna do now is, because it's about 10:30 at night our time. This is normally the portion where we take our about midway restroom break. So the drama of another kindred waking up after a major battle is going to happen right after we come back. So we'll see you guys
For this
probably under
commercial
10
break.
minutes. Probably under 10 minutes. So
Yes.
Stick around.
thank you for staying with us. Stick around, and we'll probably be harassing you in the
I'm
chat
too
while
excited to pee.
we're and be right
I
back.
gotta
So
keep playing.
keep going. Right. I'm gonna hit the button.
If you're a
Baps.
true player, you pee in a bottle.
No, fuck this shit.
Hello.
And that's why I never use a bidet.
That's why I only use a bidet. I don't know what's wrong with you.
And
Maggie,
we're
you're,
back.
I want water shooting up
You're
my
still
anus.
on your goofy
Oh.
Yeah,
BRB
you're
screen
you're
with
still
your
on AFK,
commissioned
hun.
artwork.
Apologies.
You wanted to show off the commissioned artwork, and that's fine. I
Well,
approve.
I can.
I really want
approve.
commissioned art.
I've been
Use
working
that
on
artist. Though the artist I used was in like Belarus, so they're kind of like
Oh,
They're in a different situation right now.
it's
that's the thing.
complicated.
It's complicated.
So,
They're trying to draw on tanks and shit.
out in the nice, kind of packed Nova Club main floor, y'all get a notification that shit is going down downstairs. James, how's it going in there? What is he up to? The door is not budging.
It's not budging. I am like desperate, and is there any type of window on the door at all in any capacity?
Nope, it's solid
Private
steel.
rooms,
Metal
nothing.
safe floor.
You're basically in,
You're in a bank
You're
vault.
kind of in a
Okay.
cell, and that might not be great.
Okay, so I begin to think that I'm being imprisoned, and so I know that they're probably watching right now, and they know that I'm around. So now all I have to do is wait for them to come to me, and then I can kill them all.
And the
Mercy.
little voice in the back of your head thinks that's a great idea. You're playing this smart.
Mhm.
You're playing this as it should go.
I also agree with the voice in my head. I disagree with the other voice in my head because that one's made up.
Mercy, dear, where are you going?
I hide. Whatever direction the door opens towards, I hide in that scene.
In the
So,
crook.
like, let's say the door. Yeah, so let's say the door opens, hinged on the right side, opens from the left. So I'm going to hide on the right side of that wall where that door is, and I'm going to wait and crouch. I'm going to wait for somebody to come in, because as soon as they come in, I'm going to force them to tell me where Lynn is.
Okay.
In response to Maggie's shout, Mercy, still booking it. Not at any speed that would be noticeable, but just as fast as humanly possible. Is booking it and says, James, and tosses the thing back at Maggie. She
The
wants to go see
beeper.
the sky.
The vintage beeper.
The beeper. Mhm. Just like tosses it. It's James.
Maggie will begin to follow. I'm not going to try and catch the beeper. I don't care that much.
I will catch the beaver.
The
Radio ahead. Tell
as-
them somebody needs help.
As I pass Will on the dance floor, I'll say, be a dear and keep everyone out of the private rooms and the stairwell. We may have an issue, and I'll follow closely behind Mercy.
Okay. So, Mercy and
Maggie.
Maggie are going down.
Maggie, do we need to get drink?
What?
Yes.
Do we need to get drink
Drink
Yes.
for the
wait.
guest?
I thought you said Drake. I don't. He's
Drake.
performed here before,
Drake,
but
no.
he hasn't been here for
You just
years.
have to call him on his cell phone.
Like on his
There
hotline.
goes my horror game, guys.
Yes. If you don't mind, you know where it is. Please help yourself.
For the guest.
For the guest, yes.
Yeah, I got you.
I start desperately looking everywhere in my room for something I can use as a weapon.
Yeah, I'm going to get the
There's
Vitae.
I don't want to tell you that there's super expensive bottles of wine all over the walls, because I know what you're gonna do.
You see the picture that is up in Roll20 right now? That's what you're in.
A little bit bigger than essentially that.
It's about there. It looks like somebody locked you in a wine cellar
Yeah, it looks really fancy.
Okay,
with
so-
a big
We
meeting
spent a lot of
table.
So
time
there's-
in these rooms.
There's
But
bottles
you do recognize
everywhere.
this.
Yeah.
You do recognize this, though.
No.
Okay.
No,
Yes.
I don't.
Okay.
Okay, you could potentially.
I don't.
You've been here before.
I
many
could.
times.
If you want to make me roll to do that, I'm more than happy to. I'm choosing not to.
No, I'm not making you roll for that. Not this time.
Hey, that looks like a huge
Okay.
bottle in the bottom left-hand side. Just
It does.
Okay, I see bottles. I see potentially crystal decanters.
Yep.
I see ice buckets. I see
Yes.
fancy
Is there
serving buckets
anything?
for
Is there
wine.
anything lighter I can use to murder somebody with?
You do see all of these things. There's
So,
definitely some corkscrews in there to open these bottles of wine.
and good
Oh,
old
sweet.
jagged smashed bottle would work fine too.
Okay, so I go ahead and steal away a corkscrew, and I grab whatever bottle I can find. It doesn't matter because to me, it doesn't. None of that makes sense anyway. So I
Okay, can we
just
roll
grab
for
a
the
bottle.
cost of this bottle?
That's-
I just
It could
wanna-
be it could be whatever the fuck you want it to be. I don't care. In fact, the more expensive, the goddamn
On
better.
a scale
You
of
fucker.
one, on
You
a scale
fucker.
of 1 to 10, it's a 6.
Oh,
It's expensive.
No! That's
It's
from
not
a
one of-
sunken ship!
It's not one of the truly ancient ones, but it's up there.
That one was
So-
on the Titanic. It's not that old. Don't worry
I'm
about it.
going to make you an indentured servant for the rest of your days.
But
This is
you
what
are,
you get for locking me into a fucking wine cellar.
Eh, I've done worse.
no doubt.
You could have done better. Let's be honest. Yeah, let's take the most unstable person in our coterie and put him in the most expensive room we can find
Oh,
and
this
leave
is
him
not my most
unattended while he
Don't
comes
you
back
even
from the
sully
dead.
my name saying this is my most expensive room. This isn't even my most expensive property.
Your
First and
15th
foremost-
most expensive room.
this isn't even my final form.
We're getting off topic, guys.
What is topic?
So, James, you have sufficiently armed yourself. And everybody else is making their way down into the lair in which you find yourself. So you are going armed with drink, I assume, blood bags. Procured.
I am.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I need to know how. This is turning into Clue. I need to know who and how this door is being opened.
Well, I'm gonna leave it up to you. Being a vampire of my modestly young age, I would have known
Peons in front. Put the peons in front.
I would have known other kindred that came out of Torpor and
Oh, yeah.
had probably similar experiences to what he's going through, or at least I would know that it's possible.
A very common reaction to coming out of torpor is frenzy.
So I will catch up to Mercy as soon as I can, grabbing her on her shoulder and saying, "Dear, there's a high, very, very high probability that he's going to be a bit more like his beast. I should go in first."
Feel it's best. I just would like to be here.
I will, before opening the door, do a rouse check to activate an ability.
Blood surge?
No.
Oh,
I'm going
okay.
to activate some toughness.
It's probably a wise idea.
I'm hungry.
Increase your hunger by 1.
Man, we are off to
It-
such a good
hey.
start.
Cool thing, it automatically does it.
Oh, good. Good.
That's awesome.
Hey,
Yeah.
roll 20.
That's pretty
You guys have added new stuff since we've been here last. Appreciate it. I put your name up in that corner.
Ooh.
Yeah. Thanks.
Ooh.
We do appreciate your hard work. So, new hunger applied to Maggie, your beast is
This is not. I
Not
wish I had
very
slept better
pleased.
yesterday.
and these fucking Philistines that you have upstairs and all of this nonsense that you have to deal with, on top of the creeping anxiety of a very, very old friend probably still being in town. Your beast is displeased with many
Stop reminding me of it all. And I will
things.
hit the keypad and go in.
So,
And then, as I will say, that as I'm going in, expecting what I'm expecting, I'm opening it enough to get in, and then I'm going to slam it behind me.
okay.
Because I know that Mercy knows. Well, I can get out if I need to, but I know that Mercy knows the code as well.
So, everybody else, for the moment, has been locked out. So, a couple of important questions for both Maggie and James. First off,
Okay.
Maggie, did you bring any of those blood bags in with you, or you just walk in?
Nope, I just walked in.
Okay.
Is Roland there with blood bags?
Roland will be
I
coming
assume it would
after.
take him a moment.
Yeah.
Where is, just so I know, where is Six in her scary SEAL Team 6 bullshit and all this?
She was following the ladies downstairs.
All right, so you and Mercy are outside the safe door. You see this, you see Maggie shut herself in. James, you see Magdalena Masters.
I see an enemy that is keeping me from my objective.
And they open the door for a brief moment. So you know...
The second the door opens, I rush the enemy.
Okay.
My goal is to grab my enemy by my neck, threaten them with my weapon, and make them tell me where Lynn is, because God fucking damn it, if they don't tell me, I will murder them and I will find her myself.
Okay. So, this is going to be an opposed roll.
Okay.
I'm going to see how this flows down. So...
Well, you both had such stellar rolls.
Oh, yes. They've been great rolls so far. It's my favorite. I actually thought further ahead and got some character sheets, so I actually know what all the skills are, because I GM too many games. So, Kisogo, I'm going to have you roll either your choice. This is going to be a little more complex than it will be for Maggie. Your choice of either strength or dexterity for an attribute. And since you are using a weapon, it will...
I'm not using my weapon to attack.
I'm
not using my weapon to attack, so I wouldn't use that at all. Yeah.
So I would say
my goal is to intimidate or coerce information.
So this is technically a social thing, but you're using your body in which to do so. So I'll either say strength or dexterity as a physical stat paired with intimidation. On that roll, you add +2 dice to it because your beast is singing in your veins.
Okay.
It'll ask you a difficulty. It doesn't matter what you put. It's going to be an opposed roll. Maggie, you are dealing with a charging vampire. Couple of ways you can deal with it. You can either try to subdue them, or you could dodge out of the way. Which way you want to do it?
I feel like Maggie should get bonus too, because Maggie was expecting to get attacked. So maybe Maggie is prepared. I don't know if you need it, but it doesn't matter. I'm just saying. Yeah.
I'm going to grab and pin on the floor.
So since it's barehanded, I'm going to say Maggie.
Riposte.
Yep. So that is 2 successes. 2 successes for James. For Maggie, since you're using brute force, I'm going to say that is going to be strength and... Would that be brawl? That would be brawl. Strength and brawl. And if
you're trying to reverse my action to pin me on the ground, I would probably say that would be right.
Yep. So you're looking to beat 2. And if it gives
Why does it say 4? What's this?
4 dice roll.
Why
you succeeded 2 out of 4 dice
roll. Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Except it was...
And he succeeded 5.
5. Yep. So...
Yeah, I did 2 out of 6. He did 5 out of 6.
Mm-hmm.
Or, yeah, 6. Okay,
Yep.
cool.
So,
Cool.
how this
I
how
actually
this
expected
goes?
that to happen.
Yeah, I mean, how it goes is, whatever in the world James is seeing, whomever is superimposed over Magdalena right now. Maggie, you expected James to come at you. He did. And this isn't your first time around the block. And it's not the first time that a man has come around the corner with a knife at you before, or something resembling one. So you've thought about exactly what to do for quite a long time and done it more than a few. You pretty handily are able to pin, and with that many successes, if you wish to inflict damage, you would be inflicting 3. You could choose to not.
I would not.
Okay.
I am just attempting to restrain.
It is done.
Moment in time.
It is done.
Okay.
So,
if we're in RP section, I'm frothing at the mouth right now.
so y'all
Like,
hear
I
that
look
outside the
crazy.
door.
Yeah,
The door
I would
shuts.
imagine that if
I
he
thought the room was
rushed,
soundproof.
if he rushed immediately, I probably wouldn't have had time to close the door.
Then it's slightly
So-
open.
It would still be ajar.
No, it's
And
a
I
door.
would-
And I'm
Close the door.
screaming at you. I'm like, tell me where Lynn is, you monster! I will get her back! I'll kill you! I'll kill your entire family! Tell me where she is!
That's fair, but I don't know, Lynn. But if you keep struggling, I'm going to introduce you to your god.
Tell me! Right now!
Dear, you're so loud.
Yes,
So- Fantastic. Every time. This is why you're top billing here. So, both Mercy and Six.
I'm
you
going
hear
to.
this.
Okay, so I'm out of control. Real quick. Can I do this real quick?
Probably.
I'm out of control. Can I use compel?
If you would instinctively want to try and use disciplines, that's normal.
Yeah.
Very normal.
Yeah.
So, let's see how that shit works. Let me crack open.
Just so
your
you know, I'm
real
fully
quick.
expecting to fail.
So, compel. You can use it for free. You need to make eye contact, which you probably can in this close of a pin. So, you're basically going to be rolling your charisma plus how many dots you have in dominate.
I have 3.
Versus Maggie's intelligence and resolve. So feel free to make those rolls. Maggie has intelligence and resolve, and
So I guess I click on charisma. You said you want me to do that. And then my
charisma
second
and how many
attribute.
is actually how many dots you have in dominate. If it doesn't let you do that, just put it as nothing and add a bonus 3.
Okay, got it.
And the difficulty can be whatever.
Difficulty
It doesn't matter. It's opposed rolls.
opposed. Okay, so I'm putting difficulty 0 then.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh
I need to
no!
roll. I need to roll an additional dice because I can't add the total number of dice I get to add to this roll. It only lets me go up to 5.
Okay.
So
That's not a bestial failure. So roll 20 lied a little bit. So that's
I will
5.
roll- That's another. It's a fail.
So it would be 5. Roll 20 reports
also-
that Kasoga rolled a bestial failure. He did not, because there are successes in there. Oh, it's because the whole
Okay.
thing was. Oh, I see how it did. But no, you got 3 successes versus 5. So you make the attempt, and Maggie does resist. So it can go
Oh, that's totally fine.
however you want it.
Even if I succeeded, if I'm compelling Maggie to tell me information that Maggie doesn't know, it still wouldn't work, right? Because Maggie has no idea what I'm talking about.
Maggie would, if your discipline worked, she would truthfully tell you what she knew, which is probably
Okay,
nothing
gotcha.
in this case.
Nothing. Yeah.
Is Roland here with blood yet?
You guys are still outside of the
Let's
door.
say
This
no.
all happened in
I
an
like
instant.
it being no.
What are the two ladies outside the door doing, if anything?
Trying to shove the door open.
Not
What
that
the hell is
difficult.
going on? Yeah.
Not that difficult. The door is open, and so that actually.
Maggie, is there blood in the room?
Would there be blood in the room, Maggie? Is the question.
Yeah, is Maggie? I'm sorry. Is Mercy in the room?
No, not yet.
The
But if
door
there's blood
has
in the room,
literally just been opened, so yes, he can see
Oh.
her now. So that's a thing.
Okay, but is there blood in
Okay.
the room?
No.
Okay. Mercy's gonna run for blood.
Oh,
You see,
Okay.
so
Cause she
couple of
like
things.
bumps into.
Couple of things happen. First off, Mercy turns, tries to go down the hall, and then Roland is arriving with blood in hand at the same time. You almost literally bump into each other. What James sees is an instant of Lynn looking down at you, looking a combination of worried and fear meets your eyes and leaves.
There would be a lot of concern there, because Mercy's intention is, well, fuck, I can fix this, but Maggie says not to do it the way I want to.
And then
So
there's,
I desperately, the second. Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, there's only gonna be probably about a span of 6 seconds before Mercy/Lynn is back in the room, but you have a moment of, oh, there she is. Oh, fuck, she's gone.
So this, I'm trying to leave room for Maggie to react, obviously, because Maggie needs to react to the situation.
Sure.
But the second that I catch a glimpse of Lynn, all aggressiveness fade, and now I'm desperate. I'm like, Lynn, don't run away! I'm just trying to keep you safe. Come back! Don't leave me again! Don't leave me again, please!
Y'all hear
I
it.
can't handle it! I can't deal with it anymore!
By the time that speech is over, that is 6 seconds. Roland and Mercy will have re-arrived. 6 is already in the room. Everyone's in.
6 is stepping off to the side going, oh shit.
For giggles, in the hallway when Mercy runs into Roland, can I attempt to compel him to give her blood? Just, in that she's kind of panicking and she wants to be helpful. Could she be like, blood?
You're trying, basically what you're trying to do as a player is have your vampire accidentally and reflexively use a discipline.
Yes, because she's
Okay.
brand new and now she's freaking out and she wants to help the poor boy who almost died keeping them safe.
I may open multiple people's character sheets and see how we're going to do this. So,
We're all gonna die in case there's any confusion.
yeah,
Okay.
100%.
Yeah,
We're all
yeah,
dead.
We're already-
yeah, absolutely.
Most of us are already dead.
We're actually probably mostly dead.
mostly.
But we're all gonna die again.
So that's, so, to save time here, would Roland ever even think about resisting this?
No,
It would happen anyways. So,
it would happen. He would have happened anyway.
okay, so without even needing to resort to rolls happening, the whole thing occurs, except, Roland, you do feel a sense of supernatural, need roll over you. And it's questionable.
Okay. You sure?
Doesn't mean you're compelled. It means that you feel it. You notice that it happened.
Yeah.
That's all.
You know, she did it. Okay.
So that occurs.
It means we're fucked.
I don't know about that. You might be fucked.
Probably.
What
I've been
happens?
fucked for a long time, my friend. And not even the fun way.
Yeah, it's never the fun way.
It's never the fun way.
God damn, that's a lot of successes too.
Yeah, right?
Those are all successes.
Yes.
Nice.
Very nice roll.
Anyway,
So
Yeah, he gives her the blood anyway.
done.
Sure.
You run back in the room. Everybody's in there now.
Mhm.
Blood is there.
I'm waiting for Maggie to have a response to this.
I don't know if fucking
Or
Lynn
my character's
here.
not waiting. Me as a player is scared.
I don't know if fucking Lynn, but what you need is to feed. You need sustenance. It's obvious that you're starving. You look emaciated.
The
You've
instant
just woken up, dear. Have you ever been to Torpor?
you didn't hear none of that
I
shit.
don't hear any of that.
You heard the word
Nope.
feed and think, yeah, it's a good idea. That is a really good idea.
Do I see Lynn yet?
Yes, back in the
Mercy-
room
Mercy is
with
there.
the thing that is food as well.
I don't care. I just see her face, and all aggressiveness.
Give me that, and I will
Seeps
grab
out of
it
my body.
and shove the bag into his mouth.
And I
Capri Sun.
mew. I mew really pathetically. I'm choking on the blood, but I'm just like pathetically reaching towards Mercy, reaching out to her and crying.
Okay. So what I'm gonna
Don't
ask,
leave me. Please don't leave me.
so what I'm gonna have you do here, actually, in that the time that you have been asleep, I'm gonna adjust a few things on your sheet because stuff is
Okay.
back now, and you,
Yay!
it's good.
I see
because
you like taking my health away.
You're getting it back.
I'm sorry, getting my health back. Sorry. I was like, I'm down to my last health bar right now.
I think filled in is good.
I'm clawing and I'm clamoring for Mercy's hand
Yep.
right now.
It's empty is good. So you are now bodily healed, and you feel, even in what you're doing, the beast wants that blood. So you couldn't stop yourself from drinking. So while one
Okay,
hand is
okay.
reaching for her against your will, the other hand is helping the blood bag go down.
Okay.
And I am going to manually do this for you. Your hunger score actually
Okay.
is being reduced by 1 as you consume a whole bag of blood.
Okay. Cool.
So the
I'm still doing
situation-
it. I'm desperately clawing at the ground to reach Mercy.
Sorry.
I am an immovable force upon you.
Oh yeah, yeah. I don't. Yeah.
So
I'm staring
the
at her
ground.
while I'm feeding. By the way.
you're on the ground, one hand clawing for attention, the other one shoving blood down your gullet. Maggie's like, what, straddling you with her hand on your throat, like, eat the...
Very nonchalantly at this point, but like holding the bag of blood with one hand, and my other hand is just pushed down on his shoulder as, yeah, I'm sitting over him.
At this point, there is a moment. I would say, correct me if I'm wrong, but would 6 be the one closest to the door right now just because of being used to being on guard duty?
Yeah.
Around the corner of the door, Will pokes his head, Chief of Security.
Hello.
Leans his head in and sees what's going on. Sees Maggie is literally in control of the situation, but busy.
This isn't where I park my car.
And Will looks at 6 specifically and goes, "Is this under control?"
We've got it. We've got it.
I'll head upstairs and make sure nothing goes wrong up there. Keep the guests
Are we
happy.
being too loud?
No, probably wouldn't hurt if you shut the door.
Gotcha.
There is a way to open the door from the inside too, right?
Yes.
Okay. So he does very moment like, if you're sure, and then shuts the door.
I love Will.
Okay. Okay. Bye.
Sounds great!
You get the idea that Will very much had a, if we get attacked now, we are fucked look on his face, so he's heading back upstairs. Just to play safe. But the
And
drama
I'm-
is still undergoing.
I'm trying to work my way from Maggie's hold unsuccessfully. I'll add as well. I'm okay to fail that. And I'm still trying super desperately to make my way towards Mercy.
Super
Okay.
important question that's totally irrelevant to the rest of you, but it's super important.
Hmm?
What happened to the bottle?
Oh, it dropped on the ground as soon as I rushed him.
Is
Okay.
it broken or is it in one piece?
I don't know.
This
It's
is
up
the
to
most
GM.
important role of the night.
My character doesn't care. Oh, really? We're rolling for you piece of garbage.
It's broken.
Busted.
I can't even describe my sadness.
6 out of
Losing one
10 in
them
value.
is like a child to me.
I have 2 questions
Child, you
for how
couldn't
this
even
is.
drink.
Yeah. 2
That's
questions.
all of my children.
First off, is to Maggie and probably Roland too. Are we going for a second blood bag because the first one's done?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll just keep handing blood
Okay.
bags. I got a few.
thank
Okay.
you, dear.
That's the first question. In a moment, hunger's going to be reduced a bit more. Second question. Mercy. It is very clear that James is reaching for you. What are you doing about that as I play with his score here and he drinks a second bag?
All right. So he's like clawing at the ground still, very pitiful and sad.
I'm mewling, some might even say.
Hey Maggie, remember that gift that that Mercy gave you?
hmm
Are you wearing it? Are you okay? 'Cause-
Yeah.
No,
Lisa?
I can't decide where you're going with this.
Yeah, she would have it. Maggie would have it.
Is it in her hair?
Of course.
Great. So Mercy is going to very politely pull that out of your hair, and just hold it in her hand, and then come take James's hand with her empty one, just in case. I promise I'll return it.
What is in your hand? Audience
Knife.
got to know.
It's a it's very fancy piece of jewelry, a hairpin, if you will, with 2 very long, pointy prongs that are steel cord and coated in silver. But because this was a prototype, it's got like a little extra. You know how like hair clips have like long pieces and short pieces?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So it's got little short pieces that are made of wood to hold the hair in place.
In need
And it's
for
got like a
potential-
beautiful crescent moon, and it's inlaid with mother of pearl. It's gorgeous. It's just very, very pretty jewelry.
prettiest steak you ever have seen.
Oh, you could have used one of these, and my skirt will lift up a little bit, and you'll see that I have a leather strap with 3 steaks on there, always.
Well, Maggie, that just seems presumptuous.
Well, I don't mind, dear.
Is there a third blood bag?
I,
Wait, hold on. We're
Sure.
flirting. Jeez.
I feel
Checking.
Roland feels a little uncomfortable with everything.
Can I supersede all need to feed the second Mercy touches me?
Yep.
Okay, so the second Mercy grabs my hand, I try to pull it close and I nuzzle it to my cheek and I start sobbing.
This is really disturbing now.
Is this normal?
And I say repeatedly over and over, I thought I lost you. I thought I lost you forever.
Quite honestly, dear,
I thought I
you
lost you
remember
forever.
the night...
Don't leave me again.
Oh,
Why?
Jesus, I will put my hand over his mouth while I'm talking to him.
Maggie,
Yes, dear.
don't.
Don't
Do that.
cover his mouth.
I have a feeling this has been pent up a bit. Just let him do whatever.
Maggie's eyes narrow at you for a moment.
Six looks at Maggie kind of with kind of a knowing look. Like she recognizes this. Like she's seen this or experienced this before. She's just kind of stepping back from it, from the others for this.
All right, dear. I'll trust you. And I won't cover his mouth with my hand. But I will continue to talk to Mercy and say, recall the night that we brought him home, laid him on this table. A few nights later I found you doing something that I told you not to do once more. This is likely a byproduct of that.
What did she do?
Well, Six, you see, and Tony may have elaborated on this. When
I'm purring, by the way.
our kind give blood to another, some of us are weaker and fall prey to bonding of sorts. It's a very unhealthy obsession with one's giver. And
Okay.
it's usually frowned upon when it's not consensual. And being that he was in torpor when we brought him here, he was not consenting, and therefore Mercy, in her ignorance, and that is partly I am to blame, had been attempting to aid him by giving him her blood. I believe it has created a bit of a bond at this point, and it will take time to wear off, and it does appear that we will have to deal with this. Hopefully the blood will make him more amenable to deal with, but it's hard to say.
Fuck you! Sorry.
Also, along with the fuck you, James, you're feeling your beast, at least, is starting to be less crazed with hunger. It's starting to be less maddened.
I actually attribute with the fact that Lynn is here.
Which is fair.
Oh no.
And on top of that, the beast's hold over your panic and your own problems on top of your curse is beginning to lessen. So I'm going to see if I can ask you for a roll that the panic may pass if this is successful, and the face of Lynn might not actually be there anymore, and you might see things as they are, as Malkavians often see.
Okay.
I'm going to ask you to roll intelligence and insight.
Real quick, are you having him resist frenzy? Because there's a button for that now.
It is not a frenzy situation. This is not a frenzy situation anymore. There's a button for that now, and it's awesome.
The purpose of this is for me to realize the reality of the situation, right?
Yes.
Okay. Would you be amenable if I choose to fail?
Sure. Yeah, you can if you want.
Cool. I fail.
Denial is a powerful thing. Not necessarily a funny thing, but a real thing.
It's not. It's not funny.
No.
It's not funny. People in the throes of mental illness and disturbance is never a funny thing. The only thing we can do is just support them the best we can and possibly purposely fail roles that could help them.
Yeah, it's very helpful to those people, indeed. I mean, are you sure you don't want to roll? You'll probably fail anyway.
No, I have a 4 in insight and 3 in intelligence, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to pass, so I'm electing to fail.
So,
As long as you're good with that. Like, if this
Yeah.
complicates things, obviously I'll roll.
No, that's fine.
Yeah. Okay.
You get a choice in that.
I
and
choose the fate.
The result of that is you wanting to not. Malkavians are a clan of those who some attribute it to madness and some attribute it to literally having visions. Like in the Middle Ages, it would even be akin to having a seer in a court of Camarilla. And there are many situations where a seer, damaged or not, does not want to come back from that dream. So this one time so far, you can elect to stay in it, although you do feel the tension starting to fade.
Yeah.
The supernatural variety,
I'm cool with that.
at least.
Okay.
Now I just feel that because Lynn is here, like, I feel complete. I feel whole, and I feel that nothing else can ruin this. Like, if Lynn is here with me, then I can face anything.
Okay, really quickly. So, this man is sobbing on the ground, clawing for mercy. She takes his hand. He calms down. He snuggles into her hand.
Yep.
And seems to, for lack of a more polite or accurate term, come back to terms with reality in such a way.
Sure.
Right?
What is reality?
Right, exactly. That's why I know it's not a great choice, but and it's very much to do with her contact, correct?
Mm-hmm.
It's all very obvious.
Very clear. Yep. Straight up.
Mercy will pet his head. You know, in the way that a mother comforts a child.
Mm-hmm. Very much.
They pet their head. Yeah, that's what's happening now.
That is happening.
Oh, mommy, she always wanted to be.
Appropriate when the cam dies. So.
I feel like that
the
was
only thing more appropriate would have been him leaving, you know.
But so what any sense of humor that had been in the it's coming back. Any sense of humor that had been in the air before is easily gone, and it's clear that this is a serious thing that is happening. What's everyone else doing? Because James is essentially incapacitated and just needing this moment right now.
Definitely pacified.
He's not feeding anymore. Would either Maggie or Roland have any commentary about that?
Yep.
I would say that he's probably the beast within him is sated, though it appears that the delusion continues. Unfortunately, I've seen this a few times in our kind. It takes time.
Would it be better if I were to leave?
No.
James hears that directly.
And I grip her hand closer, and I pull her closer.
I don't.
And I whimper.
That would be the best decision at this moment.
Loss is a powerful thing. It can break a mind.
Oh man, I wish I could ask things right now, but I can't because I'm in my character.
Mm-hmm. So, Mercy, you specifically have a moment. There was an initial feeling of like, okay, we're fucking dealing with this now when this all started. And now after that is calmed, it's a sudden realization of, oh shit, did I do this?
Yeah, this is my fault. I'm a terrible person. Undead person. Fuck, that's confusing. I feel like a horrible, horrible creation. And I should do everything I can to be helpful here, even if that means, leaving to make sure that he can get over what's happening. But if they think I should stay, I will.
I see the look on your face, dear. You're not a horrible person. You
It's good.
made a decision in a moment of crisis to aid someone that had helped you out. That doesn't make you horrible, doesn't make you terrible or undeserving. Mr. Kessler will need time to process this, though I will tell you that if you should find yourself, and at this point, Maggie's tone shifts a little more somber. You've seen it rarely. If you should find yourself considering doing it again, we will have an issue. Do I make myself clear, dear?
Just as clear as the first time.
Very good. This needs to run out of his system a bit like a drug. It's unhealthy in every case that I've seen. It's an obsession. It's a lust more powerful than anything that you would have ever felt. It can be dangerous. I
At this-
mean this with the utmost intensity.
At this point in the conversation, would Maggie still be pinning James down, or has that
Yes.
all passed? Okay.
Nope, still there.
Okay.
Nope, still there.
Okay.
James doesn't care. He's got Mercy's hand. He's good. He doesn't care. He doesn't care that he's being pinned to the ground. He only cares that he has contact with the person he cares about. Everything else is like, whatever.
Hmm. So,
James,
What? Sorry.
do you register that at all? Maggie's now looking at you. And I know you're hyper focused on Mercy, but James, Mr. Kessler.
My character is not paying attention, so you have to keep up.
I
Or
will-
it doesn't look like my character's paying attention. Sorry.
Okay, I will, with my free hand, grab the side of your face and slowly force you to make eye contact with me.
I snarl at you.
the fangs are there, whether or not it's intended.
And the name that you said was Lila, right?
It was
What was the
Lynn.
name?
No, what?
Lynn.
Li-
Lynn.
Lynn.
As a player character, you should know that I've been saying Lynn this entire time.
Lynn.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, were we
Why?
supposed to listen to me talk?
I don't know why I heard Lila.
No. You're just supposed to see a fucking like Asian man breakdown on camera for no fucking reason except for the fucking game.
James? I don't know if you can hear me right now, but Lynn is here. She will stay with you. Can I trust that you will behave yourself when she's around?
I'm nodding. I'm not saying anything, I'm just nodding.
If you don't, I will take her away.
I start whimpering.
Very good. I'm going to let you up now. Lynn would very much appreciate it if you maintained a certain composure. Do you
I don't know what that
understand me?
means.
Well, I don't know if he understands, but I will slowly get off and lift him up from the ground as I do so.
Okay, so as soon as I do not have the weight on me, I scramble over to Mercy and I wrap my arms around her waist and I snuggle into her lap.
Impossible to not think this is my fault.
I've done this. This was my fault. I have done this to this man, who hates me.
You think, but also yes, I hate you.
Yes, Rachel.
Or he doesn't hate you anymore.
Yeah, just wait till this wears off.
Well,
She's just patting his head.
add one
Feeling
more
real guilty.
fucking problem to deal with.
Perhaps I, and I suppose anybody who wishes to stay, should remain here for a bit, and the rest of you could make your way upstairs. We'll give him whatever space you deem appropriate, and see if we can get him functional for society. He's never been that, but maybe we could make some progress.
You are welcome to stay here with him, obviously. Is there any of your duties that need to be attended to this night?
Mercy will do her best to, pat her pockets, and then, upon finding her cell phone, she'll say, nothing I can't do from here.
I don't understand it, but that works fine.
Don't go chasing off more of my customers.
Don't go chasing waterfalls.
I heard it in my head before you said it.
Nice.
With this issue, I feel that you will likely be occupied for the rest of the evening. I will ensure that you are safe in the room, as per usual. Don't bring him out until he is ready. Additionally, since you have your device, if he comes to his senses and realizes what you've done, it shouldn't be immediate, but should it happen, please notify someone as soon as possible, or you'll be trapped in here with him, and that won't be pretty for anyone.
Of course.
No, it won't.
Additionally, and perhaps finally before I exit this room to go and sate my own beast, that bottle of wine all over my floor is your responsibility. Think of it as punishment.
Sorry.
I'll keep that in mind.
And Maggie
Probably
will...
only costs...
Maggie, you petty son of a bitch!
Probably only costs what I make in a year. It's fine.
Maggie will
You should be so lucky.
leave the room at this point.
Fair.
Not attempting to bring either Six or Roland.
Okay. So, the way the rest of this particular game session is going to go is going to be divided into 2 bits. And it is requisite on who is going where. Obviously, James and Mercy are going to be remaining in this room. Roland, 6. Which way you going? You staying? Or you going up with Maggie?
I think I'm gonna go up with Maggie.
Okay.
Then
Roland.
I will stay.
Okay. So, James's 2 least favorite people
Yay!
Oh.
Yay!
No, the bromance will come back. It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
Episode 2. Episode 2.
Yep. So, Maggie and Six start heading upstairs. While we're down here with James, is there anything else that needs to play out between the 3 vampires that are here?
Roll and have more blood.
Feeding him another blood bag?
Mm-hmm.
Sure. No, he probably grabbed a bunch. He probably just
almost
grabbed an
died.
armful.
Are you,
Yeah.
okay. It doesn't look like...
I'm not going to fight you on it, so.
There's
Right,
that.
Mercy is just gonna take the bag and be like, "You look thirsty."
So,
Here,
just for
take
mechanical purposes, while you guys are doing this, he can only handle 1 more. So there's 1 more blood bag, and he will be considered sated. Kiso, I am reducing your hunger back down to 1. Mechanical purposes.
Gotcha, boss.
The rest of this, RP-wise, can go however you want it to. You continue to feed him blood. What else, if anything?
Yeah.
Mercy will again, you look thirsty, and she'll hand him the bag and attempt to like sit him up, see if she can get some bodily autonomy back.
Mm-hmm.
But should he cling to her hand?
I do.
Okay, just her hand,
Yeah.
or do you refuse to sit up?
No,
Okay.
I'm in the position. I can't move beyond what I'm doing. I just cling to your hand because I feel it's like my lifeline. If I lose that, then I'll be lost.
Yeah, it's your attachment to the world at this moment.
Yeah.
So yeah, she'll help him sit up, and give him the other bag of blood, and then look at Roland and be like, "So, you available tonight? We could do some work."
Yeah, we can do that. He'll pull out his laptop.
Where was he keeping it?
He has a backpack.
It is butt.
Obviously,
Oh,
his adventure pocket.
I love that even when your character is incoherent, the sass will not stop.
It never stops.
Never
It's
stops.
in your butt.
Can't stop, won't stop.
Can't stop, won't stop. So this is how this is going down there. There will be a point closer to the end of the game where I will ask Kisogo to make that roll, but not yet.
Okay.
Right now,
Okay.
he's still holding on to his lifeline, and he's
Yep.
still living in the illusion.
I love you. Hi. Not you, fuckers. Cat.
Oh,
Oh.
that was the most emotional I've been all night.
Right?
Oh, that was the most emotional. Fuck you.
He about broke his mic.
I was crying on stream. Fuck
know,
you.
He about broke his microphone.
The most emotional she's been, not you. You've been more emotional.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That's true. You're right.
So, Maggie
As-
and
My
Six
friend.
head
As
upstairs.
Maggie and Six are walking up the stairs through this dimly, smoker lounge lit corridor.
Mhm.
Six, dear, the issue that you brought up earlier. When Will hired those security people, those new ones, I mentioned that if you could covertly assess their loyalties within your organization, did you happen to find anything on that front? Have you had an opportunity yet?
Storyteller, would that have been a role I would have had to make?
So that wouldn't have even needed to have been a roll that you would need to make because that's easy enough for Six considering her line of work. Will don't deal with fools. Cool. And
Sweet.
the people who he has chosen to associate with and bring onto this are indeed competent.
Define competent. Sorry.
That's fair, but competent in a could probably guard the president of the United States effectively. Competent. Which means has a wide range, but that's still what it means.
Considering the Secret Service doesn't have a very
Good track record.
good
We're
track
talking
record lately.
old school Secret Service or new Secret
Yeah.
Service?
You
Because I need
are-
to know a range here.
So, new school Secret Service, but less Secret Service, more ex-Spec Ops. So good.
So fancy.
Competent.
Did Will find these people, or did these people just happen to walk in and sign up?
No. Will found them. He used to
Okay.
operate. When I hired Will to be the head of Nova Security, he was a private contractor of sorts for security. I hired him and kind of stole him away. It
Yeah.
was recently that I let him have the budget to expand as it was needed. I'm hoping that, well, with all of the sides that we find ourselves in the middle of, surrounded, it would appear. I just don't need any more problems within.
Understood.
To be fair, that's actually pretty on point. Anybody who's like a security like call-on or consult, they're never gonna hire people just for whatever. They're gonna hire people they trust, so they're gonna hire people they know. Generally speaking.
Yeah.
You get an idea that through your looking into these guys, Six, that there's a good chance that you can't officially confirm that Will has ever officially served in a government military, but he was at least in some form of unit, perhaps mercenary, and he definitely ran with a few of the guys that he's hired.
Well, that's the thing. Six also knows that the Inquisition also picks up people that are ex-military.
Same circles.
Yes.
Which is
And
primarily what Maggie would have asked you about. Making
Yeah.
sure there's
are
no
any connections
moles.
to the hunters? Not that you have been able to discern. None of those have been
Nobody
poached
expects
by,
the Spanish Inquisition.
none of them have been poached by the Inquisition.
Okay.
Did he drink that whole bottle of wine?
I hope so.
Sounds like it.
I hope so. Speaking of Will,
Well, very good, dear. Thank you for doing the checking. I appreciate you reaching out.
It's the least I can do.
That's
Will,
why you're my
actually.
favorite.
Hey, just so you know, we're
Please
typing
don't say that.
we're typing stuff in chat
Mhm.
in Roll20 so that chat can
this
Twitch
will
can
be
see
group chat.
so Twitch can see what we're doing.
Yep. And it
That's
is appearing properly,
Yeah.
it seems.
Cool. That's
So, yep. We got multi-layer conversations going on, and it's wonderful.
Yay!
Yay, technology.
Technology.
Speaking of Will, he actually does catch your eye across the room, and when he sees Maggie and Six come up, he starts making his way over towards you quickly, but smoothly in a It's his practiced calm gait, so you get the idea. It's probably not an emergency, but it's probably something important. And he approaches and says, "Ma'am, it seems we have an unexpected guest. Baron Wainwright is at the door."
Wonderful. I will meet her and escort her myself. Thank you so much, Will. It is very much appreciated. Please
I'm
continue.
so glad I'm not upstairs.
I want to be
Pretty much.
upstairs! Damn it!
I
Well,
don't want
maybe
to
don't feed anyone your goddamn blood, dear.
I don't want to be in that room where it happens.
This is what
Where it
happens when you fuck up.
Yay!
Failure
Alright,
is
so how many of you guys, like, whenever you roll something and the DM laughs and picks up a handful of dice to roll, how many people panic right there? I panic.
Oh, I do it all the time. I do it all the time as a
He's
DM.
Smidge.
I don't roll anything for
He's nice.
anything, just because. Okay, here.
and you die.
Bag
And you die.
Rocks fall,
God,
everyone
hey,
dies.
nice back.
Next campaign.
I roll through this guy.
He's
This is my
that's from the
my
original.
dice tower of doom.
That's from the
Oh
original
my
cover of
God.
what is
If
it?
you guys
Advanced
die in
Dungeons
my
and Dragons?
games,
Yeah,
this is what it
Advanced
goes through.
Advanced Dungeons and Dragons.
My
Yep.
God, that is a beautiful dice roller.
The
I
fire,
love that.
the fire
I love
lights
that.
up.
He's got.
Does it really? Oh
Yeah.
my God, are you serious? Let's
Yeah.
fucking go,
He's
dude.
got-
That's so cool.
He's got a big
Where did-
old.
Where did you get that? And how can I get one?
I don't even remember. My wife found it. She loved it. So
Perfect.
These are
Back-
all of my dice.
Scene.
All of the math rocks I've ever owned.
Scene. You have some shit to deal
You
with.
need more dice.
the moment that Will says that, I will look to Six and I will say, "Feel free to blend into the crowd if you choose. Although I do believe you've met Miss Wainwright, at least masked before. Entirely your decision, dear. But I can play it off like we were just having a friendly chat, if that's your preference."
I'll just take a walk.
Wonderful.
I'll be back.
And
soon.
I will make a gesture of, "Wonderful, dear, hilarious. I look forward to our meeting. Thank you," and make my way over towards the door.
Keeping it ever undercover. I love it. So, Will does basically. He's not a small guy, and he's pretty capable of just him making a hole through the crowd for you. You just basically can walk in his wake, and soon, close to the front of the front of Nova, there's Baron Anita Wainwright, who, looking around, looking a little bit like this isn't really her scene, but she's dressed to the point where it might as well be. She can get away with it.
Miss Wainwright, lovely to see you this evening.
She hits your eyes, takes one of those.
She's a bitch. Don't listen to me. She's a bitch.
No, I love her.
She's a bitch.
You're a bitch.
Hey.
She takes one of those breaths like she's preparing for something. I told you that I would visit one day, didn't I?
You did, and I must say that I'm ecstatic that you've actually followed through. Not many do.
Well, I hope to follow through with that in earnest soon, but I regret to say that my my visit here isn't entirely outside of business. Do we have a
Powerful
moment to talk?
such as ourselves infrequently don't combine the two, business and pleasure, that is. And yes, I have a room downstairs that is quite secure, if you're comfortable.
Absolutely. It's quick as possible would be good.
Of course. Utmost haste. And I
You-
will lead her down into the first room closest to the stairs.
Okay. So I'm not gonna recreate the room that.
Looks like this.
Yep, it does look like that. You know what? We'll do
Different room, same layout.
it. Different room, same layout. The sound is more muffled in here.
The door will shut, sealing the sound, and I will say, "We are free to speak here, my dear. If you have something to say, please."
Nice digs. First off, I'm impressed.
Thank you. Old money.
Oh boy, you would not get along on my side of town.
I've
Not the
been to your
point.
side of town, dear. It's quite lovely in
It,
places.
it almost didn't work out well for anyone, but it did. And I'm glad that it did. Here's the deal. I respect you too much to waste your time, so here's the situation. No frills. You were talking about helping the Anarchs. At least to the point of, we're all in this together and we all need to stand together, right?
To clarify, I was offering to help friends. But I believe you have the general idea of things.
Yeah, politics, right.
You know
So-
how we do.
Of how we do, if that's the case, we'll frame it like this. Cat is attached to his face.
Oh, she bit
You
me in
alright?
the fucking face, dude.
I've had that
bad
happen.
did she bite you? Because
Oh,
Cat
really
is
bad.
horrible. Are you bleeding?
Probably.
Yeah, I am.
Go
Cool.
wash your face.
Go wash your
Oh.
face. We'll
Cat bites are awful.
Yeah.
it's okay. We'll stick around. You deal with what you need to. We'll do this conversation and then we'll come back to James.
Fucking cats!
That's a wild kitty. Wild kitty.
His inner beast visualized.
Hunger 5 kitty. God.
And it's in heat.
Whoa. That James Kessler, he just is too good.
He's hot stuff. Sorry. Anyways, continue.
Getting back. If we're talking politics, we might as well start talking language you understand in favors. I have a situation that is time sensitive, and if you're serious about us having a working relationship, I might have a request.
I'm all ears.
How busy you gonna be tomorrow?
Oh dear. Unfortunately, I am busy every day, but for you, I'll make time.
I have an idiot.
No offense, but I've met some of your people, and you have more than one.
Sorry.
I'm talking about a specific idiot who goes by Duke. And
Okay.
he may have stepped in some shit, and I think he's going to need help.
How big is the shit that he has stepped in?
Let me frame this for you. I do have a bunch of lunkheads in my service. Lunkheads that are pretty good around a assault rifle and a sledgehammer, though. So we're on the outside of town, right? Most of these attacks that are moving in, they're going into our territory before they're going into yours.
Very true.
As best as I can say, we're trying to hold the line out here. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And I don't have a lot of Anarchs to spare. Shit, I had to fucking send Reese out to kill some shit. And that's how desperate I am. He's no pushover, but believe me, I do not want him commanding a unit.
Yes, unreliable is a word I would use.
You know, if I'm being fair, I wouldn't go with unreliable as being the correct descriptor, because he'll get the job done, It just never is how the fuck I want the job done.
That's a fair point.
So the shit. Less of a werewolf problem and more of a human problem. I've got this guy. His name is Duke. And he may have a side piece or whatever. He has a ghoul that is more prevalent on social media than anything you guys deal with. Appropriately enough, she goes by Bruja, but it's less of the less of the kindred clan and more of the South American witch. She does witchy shit on her Twitch channels. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. This person, her name's Isabella, has been getting threats. Being called a bloodsucker. We got some masquerade issues here, and I don't trust Duke to fucking deal with it. So my request to you is, I know Isabella is going to be at a New Year's Eve party tomorrow night.
Do you know which one?
I'll text you that. I'll text somebody you know the information.
I was about to say, that's a word
I'm
I don't
learning.
use.
I'm
Thank
learning.
you.
I think they might have hunters on their back. I hope they're just the redneck roadshow kind of hunters instead of the Inquisition kind of hunters, but
Well, these nights it's better to be safe than sorry.
so she at the very least has stalkers that are making reference to her being a bloodsucker, so I really don't think that she's safe. I was hoping that you could swing by, see what's up, and maybe, if the party doesn't suck, have a little bit of fun while doing it.
Well, I can't promise the latter, but I can definitely do the former. And what, pray tell, would the Baroness Wainwright offer for such a task?
Favors are favors. Equal measure. I would say that, favor from Baron doesn't necessarily go a short distance, but at this point, I don't even know how much it fucking matters how much we trade back and forth. Shit's happening. I don't know what, pardon my French, I don't know what the Cammy fucks did with that power plant or whatever, how this shit all got started, but things were calm, and now they're not, and now my people are getting killed because of it.
My father was French, and that was not French. Though I will say, allow me to stop you momentarily. Because I feel it is in our best interest. What happened at the power plant was an issue of a Ventrue stepping out of line. That I believe has been dealt with, but it has escalated to the point where your people are suffering. And not to be improper, and I do love my politics, but for a moment, let me return to my roots and tell you, I don't intend for these new nights to be the normal. I intend to change things. I intend to make things better for both of us. And I don't feel that one such as yourself, despite the difference in the houses that we keep and the places that we come from, should be out of the loop. If things go my way, and you will know what I mean, I would so love for your favor, if you feel it is warranted, to arrive at a later time. For now, this is me giving you my word that I will do what you ask with no immediate hope for any kind of repayment. But I can assure you that if you, and again you will know, make the choice that I believe you will want to make when the time comes, I will make sure that you and your people are always friends.
You said this room was secure, right?
Airtight, as a matter of fact.
All right. You like politics.
Tighter than Versus asshole. Sorry.
I get the whole Ventry thing. Are you making a play for Jackson's head?
I haven't said anything of that nature.
Understood.
And
Well, that.
furthermore, if I were making a play for anyone's head, I'd prefer to do it without that messy bit of removing it. I'd prefer to take power in a... If I hypothetically were going to take power, it would be in a much more diplomatic nature at first.
You know, I don't know if the compliment I'm about to say is going to come across as an insult or not, but you're going to get it anyway.
Nice.
You remind me more of an Anarch Ventru than anybody else I've met in this city.
Well, you know, I've been told that before. And Ventru, they go through these phases, and they have a history of always choosing the next heir, prince, princess to become one of them. They're very blue-blooded, as they have been. Let's just say that my upbringing was a little more violent, and I feel a little more comfortable in a gutter than I do a palace. So if my nature seems to fall a little more down the middle, you could chalk it up to that.
You have a nature I can relate to. So yeah, I think that's a fair deal. She holds out her hand.
I extend.
Second time, got a handshake. This evening. I'll have my people text your people.
Wonderful, dear.
And
Now you're speaking my language.
oh, she does that. It's just there's a smile
Just
on her face
A
though as
huge
she does it.
smile from Maggie as well. Fangs probably a little exposed at this moment.
It goes both ways, and the Baron leaves. And
I will extend a slight bow.
and with the single percentile dice rolled, once again, influential vampire of the city of Chicago walks right past 6 on the way out, doesn't even register. No problems yet.
Sneaky, sneaky.
This son of a bitch.
So, with that in mind, let me move 2 things around. Get rid of that. Put this back. There we go. Oh, James. Time for you to see if you can make that roll.
Oh, what? Me? I thought you said OJ. I was confused.
No. Oh, James.
I was like, somebody is making the roll before me.
So,
Not me.
you are rolling.
You said OJ. That's cool.
I said Oh, James. And intelligence and what did I say that it was? Insight. Intelligence and insight is the roll.
All right.
And I haven't read this text scrolling yet. These are all like text messages and not out loud, right?
Correct.
So James has no idea of that
Correct.
particular social transaction.
And that is
No
entirely
extra dice, yes.
that is entirely the point.
I will say 1 extra dice. Your difficulty is probably only going to be. Let me see. Frenzy, difficulties. It's going to be 2. Your difficulty is only going to be 2.
I would just like to add to the
Okay.
conversation that in this text message here, I cannot, from my computer, because apparently Windows doesn't believe in the middle finger emoji, I cannot flip you off, but that's what Mercy does. She just sends you a straight up middle finger, okay?
Fantastic. So we'll see how this
Okay,
goes.
so no extra dice.
1 extra dice.
One.
Because your hunger has gone all the way down, and the thing that is going
Difficulty
on...
2.
Difficulty of 2. And the thing that was fueling things harder. 7
Holy
dice rolled,
shit.
and you only got 2.
Mm-hmm.
Woo.
I'm really bad at rolling. I don't know if you know this by now.
Well, that's fine. The difficulty is was not very much for this. Who dis? Hey! 10 follow. E. Hello, friends. Who dat? Oh, another kitty. So many kitties tonight. Hopefully this one doesn't. Hopefully that one doesn't maul your face.
So go meow, meow.
The cat fucking like clawed the fuck out of me.
So, eventually, as much as James might not want it to occur, enough time passes to the point of from living in the dream, as it were, living in the past and living in the moments of agony. Enough time passes and enough safety and comfort and the beast not pushing it forward anymore because it's now sated. All of those things combine to the point of, at first, realization very slowly of, oh, right. I'm doing this. I know what year this actually is. I know. It's like before you wake up from a dream, you first realize, oh shit, I'm dreaming. And then all the web starts to break down as the logic kind of crumbles. And eventually, you find yourself realizing that you're okay. Or at least as okay as you have been. You're alive after the mauling. You're in Maggie's club. You remember who these people are. And also, with a big pang of sadness, you know that Lynn's not here. Mercy's here.
I reject. I reject because the simple reason that it's more safe and more comfortable if this was real, and not because it's not like the reality of the situation. I don't want to deal with that.
So you know it's happening, but you're refusing to accept it?
I refuse. And I actively block it because this has made me feel better than I have in any part of my life. And I reject it. I reject that this reality is real because to acknowledge it means that I have failed. I have failed, and I cannot move on. Do you accept that?
There's no supernatural power that can force reality on a person. There's no GM thing that I could or would ever do, nor any condition of the kindred way of life, save for the fact that you're aware you're a vampire. You're aware there's a beast.
Just can't accept it, because if I accept it, then I really am nothing.
Is any of that coming out?
Yeah, it is. I can't do it, because this is the last hope I have for who I am. I can't do it.
So are those words being said in the room out loud?
Yeah. Yeah.
You guys hear this?
So Roland will come down and take his other hand. James, we're not close, but giving up the fantasy and accepting reality is not...
No! No, I refuse! No! I can't do it. I can't accept it. I can't accept it.
I get it.
Either this is real or I'm dead. I'm nothing. I'm nothing without this.
I understand loss. We all do.
You don't understand loss. You haven't lived through loss in your life. Ever. You don't understand. Do you understand me? Do you understand what I've been through? The things that I've fucking lived through, the things I've lost. You can't fucking understand that.
No, James. I don't. But I do understand loss. And I'm not saying it's good, and I'm not saying it's right. But people here are willing to try to help you through this. It doesn't have to be a quick fix, and it doesn't have to be immediate. But we are here. And we're not going anywhere. So you don't like me, and I get that. And you don't have to. But know that I don't want to see you suffer. So I am here for you.
No. The only thing that matters, the only thing that matters is Linda's here. She's here. And she's here. She's alive. And nothing else matters. Nothing else matters. Ever. She's alive. And that's all that matters.
James. I'm happy to support you through this. I can be the person that you need to escape this. But I have to say that death is the easy answer, and it's never the one you want. Because regardless of how easy it feels and how much better it feels to pretend like that's your best option, that it's one thing or that, the fact of the matter is that you are worth every new experience. Every repeated experience.
No. You're just saying this. You're just saying this because they're making you say it. Lynn, tell me. Lynn, they're making you say this. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Just tell me that it's okay. Because nothing else matters. It's not real. Nothing is real. Please tell me that it's okay. I don't want anything else. I just want you to be okay. Please,
I can't make everything okay for you.
please tell me it's okay.
You're
Mercy will take his
okay.
face in her hands and lift him up to look at her. And she will say, I cannot make you be okay. Only you can make you be okay. But every time that you feel like the answer is giving up, and every time you feel like it's not worth putting in the effort, that death is easier and it's worth just quitting, I can be here for you. And I will be.
I run.
Mercy will stop him.
Yeah, I'll try and stop you as well.
So that's going to be physical opposed rolls if we're making rolls for that. But considering how rolls have been going tonight, would it just be fair enough to say, with two people that have celerity, that he's not going to be able to get away?
Okay, what? Seamus and I'm sorry, Roland and Mercy both have celerity
Correct.
as Torador and Bruja, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So either they stop me or they don't, and that's like at an RP level. That's the way that it has to go.
Mm-hmm. And
Yeah.
they're trying to stop you. Are you okay
Yeah.
with that?
Okay, yeah.
Do you want to make this
No.
do the whole rolls, or are you cool with that?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope. I'll fail.
It's easy enough to move faster than him. He is very emotionally motivated. You have a strong sense that if James wanted to, he could probably know exactly how to sprint properly. He could probably know exactly how to like distance run properly. He's not doing it right now. It's wild. It's uncontrolled. It's all the way in the red. And you are able to stop him easily enough. For James,
I can't do this. Yeah.
you get up to run, and they're just there. I assume. Correct me if I'm wrong,
resist
but
futilely.
hugging on either side, is that one of those things that's happening? Or is it a different way? However you guys want to do it.
I mean, I'd be willing to just stand in front of the door and be a wall, and he can either try to take me down or give up.
Okay.
And I will try. I will be there as well, like next door.
Okay.
So we're not
Okay.
trying to hold him in. We're just
Yeah.
trying to stop him from leaving.
Okay.
I'm not violent at this point. I'm just desperate to be away, and I can't. I feel powerless. I'm as powerless as I feel inside, and I give up.
Seems worse. I don't like that.
Yeah, I give up. I collapse on the floor, and I'm done. I don't respond to anything anybody says. I am lost in my own shit.
Mercy will attempt to sit next to him. If he's just collapsed on the floor, she'll lift him back, essentially, so that his head is resting in her lap. And just give him this moment of whatever he needs.
I don't fight.
She's literally just said, every time you feel like giving up, that's fine. I'll be your person. And so here that's what he did. And so she's doing it. She's just going to be a solid, steady presence. Other than lifting him so his head is not on the floor, that's it. She's not, doing anything exceptional. She may pet your head occasionally, but it's really just, I'm not going to let you be that uncomfortable, and I'm not going to let you be alone with this.
Can't.
Yeah. Roland will also sit down on the floor. He will go get his laptop and then sit down on the floor next to Mercy, and then just be there.
I reach out and grab Roland's leg. like to hold on to.
Roland will kneel down, like before I get the laptop, I assume, or when I come back.
Oh, as soon as you come near.
Okay. Yeah. Then he'll put his hand on yours. It's okay, James. I'm not leaving.
It's not okay,
It's
but we'll support you through it.
it's okay that I'm still here. I said what I said, and I meant it.
So,
I'm just,
Yeah.
I'm sobbing at
this
this point.
very much feels like a scene where the camera would be slowly panning out from this.
Yes.
Oh, it's like a sex scene. Wait,
A little bit.
Yeah,
Little bit.
yeah, exactly.
The
This is
vault
gonna be the
door
best
shuts. Fancy music plays.
There's a fireplace for some reason.
But
In a serious sense,
Yeah.
this would be, unless anyone has,
Nice red light.
that's gonna be good for feeding later.
It's good.
Unless anything else needed to be handled this evening, which I don't think there is, I think this would be a fantastic place to probably pause our game for tonight.
Time can never heal. Careless Whisper. Somebody in the chat mentioned it.
It's a great song. It's a great song. Okay.
I don't know. Every time you turn on the red light, my brain goes, Roxanne!
So-
Oh God.
So it turned out
You gotta turn on the red light.
as it turns out, the episode title was a little more poignant than expected.
but
Yeah.
Literally, the symbol of Malkavian, surrounded by all of his friends.
So basically, Roland's gonna do is work on the social media aspect of whatever's Mercy has coming up.
And we will deal with that outside, because that's just a little typing going on. But
Yeah.
the Malkavian, who very literally probably saved a lot of people's lives, especially the people who are literally surrounded him right now, have him. There's a lot going on in Chicago, and this is just one little story of one night of literally, probably, what would you say, the second or third time that a man has come back from the dead?
Only
Something
the
like
second
that?
time? Are we doing this wrong? Like, should more people die?
And I think
I feel like more
Mercy
people should die.
I think Roland probably should have died at least twice.
Maybe. But, well, shit, that's a hell of an opener. And, with a bunch of very important things to talk about, on top of the fact that wacky vampire politics and big fictitious conflicts are going on.
I missed Punk Mommy!
And, you did. You did. And that's a whole thing that's happening, too. But, on top of that, it begins with, the whole thing begins with what's in here. And after we get that straight, then you can focus on the outside world. So I feel like that is a very, very good way for us to start our game. Talking about serious stuff and being real about it. Kisogo, buddy, I missed the shit out of you grabbing your mic and screaming into it.
Sorry ahead of time. I apologize. Or sorry, behind of time. Whatever. I apologize.
You're good. You're good. It's
Dude, Kiso, I just want to give you a hug right now.
Yeah.
God damn.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
It's good.
There's a lot of emotion that goes on here. I apologize ahead of time because
It is
No.
exactly
No.
perfect for this character.
Yeah.
I
Man,
mean,
I need to apologize for that.
the only person I think that might not be on board with this whole thing is the fictitious character of Maggie, because the role of main character might just be slowly being pulled away from her.
What is that slipping through your clutches, Maggie?
Focus on that while I puppeteer over here.
It's my little fan favorite. I think it's flipping.
Vampire the Masquerade, everybody. It's a stupid game about stupid fake-ass vampires talking about real fucking things. And before, like, in epilogue, I'm gonna take 2 whole seconds to say, this is why I love horror. This is exactly why I love horror. Because it uses mythological totems, if you will, to talk about things that are still very real, still very much affect us in the real life.
Yep.
Fiction has good fantasy, good science fiction, and good horror has always talked about what is wrong with the world and how people live through it. And this is one of those examples, and I'm very proud to have all of you in this game. So thank you for being here.
No, yeah.
No, thank you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Thank you for running it. Thank you for being open to this type of thing too, because this is like,
Yeah,
it's a lot.
it is. It is. It's heavy.
I really hope it's a useful form of therapy
Yes.
for some people.
To be fair, none of us are professionals in any
No.
capacity.
Not even a
No.
little. I try to fake it with my fucking openings and shit. Did you see how the stream started? None of us are professional streamers. None
Yeah,
of
but
us.
then did you see Kiesel pick it up and be like, watch this, I talk to people for a living, and then just like fucking roll?
And then his cat
Right.
bites his face off.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
the
She
funny
bit
part,
my face.
the funny part
There's
is
been
you have
Went straight for the
tears,
throat,
there's been
man.
blood, there's been cats, there's been cats and heat, there's been
It's everything
So
the internet
many.
wants.
Yes.
Yeah!
Well,
I
the
know
funny
it's a
part-
puppy!
I don't know if you
Was,
noticed,
pretty
Raetog,
much.
but the
mean,
funniest
what?
part of all this is there are 3 new relatively newish vampires in this game,
Yep.
and they're all dealing with immortality vastly different.
Yep.
One is
What do you mean?
One is, well, you're doing it through denial, and that you're holding on to that. Mercy is doing it through anger,
Me and
and
Brew.
Roland
Anger's easier than having feelings!
and Roland is trying to suppress all of the fact that he's an evil monster and trying to be good. That's
and
the
Mackie's
worst part.
doing all of those things and you don't know it. He's just really good at hiding it now.
And then there's a ghoul who can go out in the daylight, who has been associating with vampires, who still literally has her humanity and is watching all of this.
Yeah.
So that's curious. Is like, how does the actual human of the group
Sort of.
deal with or sort of human, but more human than any of us? Let's be honest.
Well,
How does somebody with a degrading human standard deal with the fact that they now have to surround themselves by people who are not human, who are the worst that the example of humanity can offer? And then at that point, do you retain your humanity? Do you want to retain your humanity? Who knows?
While you think
Who
of
knows?
that, I would like to point out that Tog is fondling a human skull in his hand.
I
like
was
it
doing that
fit
because-
like nothing.
You should see her boss and what
I'm
she's
just
had to
pointing
deal
out
with
the size
already.
of your hand. Is
What's-
that the size of a
what's
skull?
funny?
No,
it's a
this
small.
is this
Oh,
size. This
okay.
is this size.
What's
Angles.
funny is
Casual- yeah.
is 6 feels like she has more in common with the monsters that she's working with than the monsters that gave birth to her and raised her.
There's a lot going on there.
Ooh.
And this isn't just me
Six
like playing with props.
and-
This is tied to this.
And in that whatever happened with James there, she went through that as well, personally. Like, yeah, there's a lot.
There's a lot.
Yeah.
And
There's a
she
lot to
started
learn
running
about
in
her.
with
Fascinating.
a Hecata, specifically a Giovanni. And I say this because if you notice, this skull is made of ghosts.
Fuck the Giovanni. Anyway.
Is it
that
Davis
makes me
Ghost?
skin crawl.
It's
That makes
Dave.
me skin crawl.
It
I
is
don't like
Davis
it.
Ghost.
Is it
Oh,
the
yes,
Davis
buddy.
Ghost?
Dave is in the channel right now.
Yes, he is.
I know.
I missed you, buddy. So, yeah, we got a whole
we have a
fucking
to be
game.
or not to be in the school.
Oh, Yorick, no.
Don't say things you
I
don't want.
knew him
Don't
had
don't say
a
things you
share.
don't mean.
So, we got a hell of a game started, and we're gonna keep rolling with it. We're gonna do this next week, same time, same Tog channel. On that,
Who shall we raid?
who shall we raid? I'm gonna stop the recording because
Excellent.
going to YouTube. YouTube don't care about Twitch raids, but for the people watching this late on YouTube, thank you. Welcome back.
Can I suggest somebody?
No.
Yeah.